training camp, now regular season. He's still there, had a debut last night in the NHL. More will be called upon for Chiron to do.
Yeah, all the more important for Jordan Chiron to come up and help out on the offense, and the Hounds are obviously looking for some of their other younger players to do the same. A kind of a goal by committee situation for the Hounds with Brady Martin not here. Not that they can't score, but if you can add a guy like Jordan Chiron putting up the offensive numbers like that, you got to be very happy as the coaching staff.
Kitchener Rangers uncharacteristically did not play well on Wednesday in Flint. They lost 3-0 and will, I'm sure, be an angry hockey team, hoping to make up for that here tonight. So the Greyhounds will have to be on their game.
Oh, definitely. The Rangers are a good squad. They're one of the favored teams in the Western Conference. They will be tough tonight, and as you mentioned, you lose 3-0 in Flint. They're going to be coming out here hard on this one, and it'll be interesting to see because they got a pretty big team. 11 players over 6 feet. We won't include the goalie, so that's 10, but pretty solid size, and I think that'll be something the Hounds will have to overcome, use their speed, but the Rangers are, they've got some players with speed as well.
And some homegrown talent on the Kitchener Rangers team. Sioux native Evan Hedrick is in town. Of course, his first year didn't go as planned. He missed half the year with a broken wrist, but he's hoping to make a significant impact on this team, at least this year. And Hedrick, of course, a former first-round pick of the Rangers.
Yeah, he picked up 3 goals last year in just 19 games after he came back, and that's tough because you're coming into a team last year. The Rangers were very successful, so he didn't get a lot of ice time as a rookie. This year, they'll be looking for more from him. Right now, the offense isn't there, but he's one of their players that can be dangerous. He's had good games up here in the Soo when he played, had opportunities. He's one of the future guys, one of the 5 08 birthday players on the Rangers. So he is part of the future, and it will be interesting to watch him tonight. Lots of his family is here.
Lots of excitement in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, Jim. Kitchener, one of 2 finalists for the 2027 Memorial Cup, along with the Guelph Storm. That decision will be made probably late November, early December. So the Rangers, I think, had a plan to build for that year. And this is a solid hockey team, despite the fact they have a few significant injuries. Lucas Elianis, Ottawa Senators draft pick, he's out for at least another month or so with an injury, and also Andrew Vermeulen, who's a top scorer, is also out. So the Rangers are trying to get through the first few months of the season without those players.
Yeah, and they've got really good attack. They not necessarily like one super line, so to speak. They'll come at you with every line, and that's the dangerous thing that the Hounds have to be very aware of, is that they can hurt you anyway. And Elianis being out, that helps out for the Hounds because he has had some good games here in the Soo.
Yes, so the Soo Greyhounds and the Kitchener Rangers, the first of 4 regular season meetings here tonight. Ready to go, but first, our national anthem.
Of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, thy true north strong and free. Keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Soo Greyhounds coming into tonight's hockey game with a 5-3 record. The Kitchener Rangers are 4-2. Let's have a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's game. In between the pipes for the Soo Greyhounds, Landon Miller gets the start, and he'll have to be very careful against a very sharp-shooting Kitchener team.
Yeah, he's going to have to come up big tonight. He's had a shutout so far this season in his debut after returning from the Detroit Red Wings, but he will be the guy the Greyhounds are looking to make those big saves tonight on a Kitchener team, as mentioned, that can score on any different line, and he'll have his work cut out. But so far, good goals against, good save percentage, and looks very familiar to the guy at the other end of the ice, Gino.
Yeah, the other end of the ice, starting for the Kitchener Rangers tonight.
Goals against, good save percentage, and looks very familiar to the guy at the other end of the ice, Gino.
Yeah, the other end of the ice, starting for the Kitchener Rangers tonight, wearing number 39, that'll be Jason Schauble.
And he's got a 2.99 goals against average and a save percentage of .907. Not the biggest goalie like Miller at 6'4", but he's pretty solid, and be interested to see what he does against the Hounds tonight.
All right, Greyhounds and the Kitchener Rangers underway here on this Friday night at GFL Memorial Gardens. The Rangers get the puck into Greyhound territory and get first possession. As they control near the blue line now, it's at the point. And circling with it, top of the circle now, Reed, he passes it over. There's a shot right on. Miller has to make the first save of the game as the Rangers apply some early pressure. Puck down low near the half wall now. It's poked loose into the corner. It goes. Chase Reed will clear it away. And Jim, let's get this out of the way first. Let everybody know we have 2 Smiths and 2 Reeds in the game. Of course, 2 Greyhound Smiths, and Chase Reed for the Sioux, and Cameron Reed for the Kitchener Rangers.
And you're going to hear those names a lot tonight, both Cameron and Chase. They play a lot of ice time. Very good hockey players. Cameron drafted by Nashville. Chase Reed expected to go very high in the 2026 NHL draft.
As the Rangers dump the puck into Greyhound territory, around the boards it goes. Back out to the point, McNeil slides it over. There's a shot right on. Miller makes the save, deflected away from him, but the Greyhounds, collapsing in front of him, are able to clear it away. Not out though, as it redirects towards the Greyhound goal, and the Kitchener Rangers with a lot of pressure on the Greyhounds right off the bat here. There's a shot, they score! Well, kind of a broken play there as the puck was behind the net, and Cameron Arquette threw it in front. It went off a Greyhound skate through the legs of Landon Miller, and the Kitchener Rangers have a 1-0 lead.
Well, the Rangers put some pressure on right off the hop in this one, as we thought they would after their loss in Flint on Wednesday. And this one here is a pass out front, goes off the skate of Noah Loss and past Landon Miller. Not the type of goal you want against to start, but at the same time, it's one of those unfortunate breaks. So it's not a total breakdown, it's just an unlucky bounce. But the Rangers did put a lot of pressure on the grounds, and that resulted in the 1-0 lead.
I think Arquette's intent was to pass it out to the winger in front, and it just happened to go off the skate of the Greyhound defenseman and through the legs of Landon Miller. And the Kitchener Rangers take a 1-0 lead in this hockey game, just 1:20 into this opening period of play. On the face-off, puck is dumped into Greyhound territory. It's behind the net now, wrapped around the boards. Mignosa at the half wall sends it over to Reed, and here comes Chase Reed into Kitchener territory. A pass, Sharon Fand on the pass over to the wing, and the Rangers send it right back into Greyhound territory, picked up behind the net, and Mignosa will start out for the Greyhounds. The overage forward, Marco Mignosa, coming to the Ranger blue line, goes around the defenseman, sends it in front, and the Rangers clear it away, but not out. Gillen at the point with a wrist shot deflected. That one comes in front. Mignosa in there with Christopher Brown trying to redirect it. It's back out to the point now. Here's Reed over to Gillen. Gillen with a shot deflected off Sharon's stick, didn't get to the net. As the Greyhounds apply some pressure, but the puck goes to the blue line and out now as Gillen couldn't stop it, and it's back to the Greyhound line. Dumped right back into Ranger territory. It'll be picked up behind the net by Andrew McNeil of the Rangers. He'll clear it up the boards. Greyhounds intercept a pass, and it's back out to center. Carson Andrew has it. Andrew passes it off, and the Greyhounds get it in to Kitchener territory, courtesy of Blake Aerosmith. Here's Andrew in the corner. He gets checked off the puck. In behind the net now, and the Rangers will find an opening to get it off the glass and out, and it'll be retrieved in Greyhound territory by Gillen. Gillen's pass goes off the stick. The Rangers have control. Here's a pass out front. That's intercepted, but the Greyhounds get it off the stick and right back to the Rangers now as they battle for possession in the corner, and it's cleared around the boards, and it'll deflect outside the zone. 1-0, Kitchener Rangers lead the Greyhounds 3 minutes into this opening period of play as the Rangers have the puck at their own line. Greyhounds trying to dump it in. Rangers grab it though and approach center ice. Backhanded into the Greyhound zone by Bilecki. Greyhounds can't clear. There's a shot by Duracolo that goes out of play as we get Solomon mixing it up in front of the Greyhound net with the Ranger winger, that's Jack LaBrache.
Pretty good pushback by the Greyhounds after that goal. Disappointing, obviously, so early in the game, but they had a couple of opportunities, and I'm sure John Dean's happy about that, and not trying to panic and try to make plays that you really can't succeed on. That they came back with good pressure.
From the faceoff, Evans clears the puck around the boards. Travis Hayes with it, gets it out to center. McKenzie will shoot it down the ice. Ellis and Zoo pick up the assists on the goal by Arquette at the 1:20 mark of the opening period of play. Puck in Ranger territory as it's brought out to center ice. Into the Greyhound zone now was Bilecki, but that's called on the offside as the Ranger winger got in there too quickly. And Lachar and Hayes give each other a little tap. As the faceoff comes outside the Soo Greyhound blue line, Brown in there to take the faceoff for the Sioux. And it'll be Luca Romano for the Kitchener Rangers. Now Romano gets waved out, and Jack Pridham will go in to replace him. From the faceoff, Rangers dump the puck in, around the boards it goes. Chipped by Mignosa, but not out. Rangers get it into the corner, and Greyhounds get control and send it ahead. Here's Christopher Brown with a partial break, a backhand shot right on. Nice save there by Schabel as the Greyhounds come close again on the rebound. As puck is taken away now by the Rangers into the Sioux zone. Lamb got turned around, and puck is cleared off the glass and out to center ice. So the Greyhounds coming close to tying it, but just unable to get it in behind the Ranger goaltender as Kitchener dumps it into Greyhound territory on a deflection. Miller behind the net will clear it up the boards. That's intercepted by Lamb. Lamb into the slot area. Here's a chance for Romano. Romano with a shot right on. Miller makes the save, couldn't hold it. And the Greyhounds get possession. A pass from Reed to Laus is too far. It'll ricochet off the boards all the way to the goaltender Schabel, who held onto it with a Greyhound in the vicinity. And Smith lets a shot away that Schabel steers out of play.
Yeah, Schabel kind of lucky on that one, waiting a little bit too long probably to move the puck there, but he had a great chance here by Christopher Brown. Schabel with the nice stop, and Brown gets it out, and that might have went off the crossbar. And who else? Jordan Charron, who's been really hot of late, obviously. Almost had his 9th of the season.
5 minutes gone by in this opening period of play. Kitchener leads it 1-0. Arquette scoring at the 1:20 mark on a shot that went off a Greyhound defenseman's skate and in behind Landon Miller. Here's a break for the Rangers now as Ellis brings it across the line, and Solomon a nice job to take the puck away from him. Greyhounds head back the other way. Here's Carson Andrew sending it ahead for Aerosmith. He gets taken into the boards in the corner. Centering pass picked off by the Ranger forward, and Kitchener starts back. Aerosmith takes his man out of the play, enabling the Greyhounds to regain possession of the puck. Here's a pass on the wing. Carson Andrew across the line. Couldn't get around the Ranger defenseman. Recovers though, made a nice play, and then had it hit a skate, and the Rangers will get it and regroup. Here's a pass to Arquette at center off his stick. Greyhounds dump it back to the Ranger line, and Kitchener controls and sends it in. Around the boards it goes. It'll be picked up near the face-off circle as McKenzie tries to get away from Hedrick. Rangers get the puck at their own line. A pass for Stark. Stark at center. Backtracks, gets it to Hedrick. Hedrick will tap it into the Greyhound corner. Back to retrieve it. And the Greyhounds handle the bouncing puck outside the line. Here's McKenzie now into Kitchener territory. Cuts into the middle. McKenzie off to a good start in his first OHL campaign. Puck is back towards the blue line. Greyhounds able to hold it in as they try to apply some pressure. Kitchener intercepts though, and Stark will clear it off the glass and out. Back to the Greyhound blue line. Winkelhofer clears it ahead, picked off at center by Hedrick. Then Menyosa gets knocked down in front of the Greyhound bench. Loose puck picked up by Sharon, back into his own end for Chase Reed. Reed trying to return feed, gets it to Sharon. Couldn't handle the pass as he was backtracking, and it's deflected into Greyhound territory. Reed around the boards. That one took a weird bounce right in front of the net. No damage done though as the Rangers recover the puck. Bringing it in across the line was Labrache, but it's offside. 7 minutes gone by in this opening period of play. Kitchener 1, Soo Greyhounds nothing. Back in a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers TV.
Gen 7 is more than fuel. Grab a fresh sandwich, hot coffee, or a snack for the road, all alongside the best quality gas you can get. We're your one-stop destination before and after every hockey game.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. We have just over 13 minutes remaining in this opening period of play. The Kitchener Rangers are leading the Hounds 1-0. Arquette scoring from Ellis and Zoo at the 1:20 mark. Faceoff coming outside the Greyhound line. Brown in to take the faceoff for the Soo Greyhounds against Jack Labrache.
Well, Kitchener's already got 5 shots on goal, Gino. They only had 20 against Flint, being outshot 31-20, and I'm sure that's part of the message that the Rangers coaching staff put across. Get those pucks on the net. They didn't get one on the net, but they got one in it.
Puck is at center ice now. Sharon finds Menyosa getting into the Greyhound zone. Menyosa angled off into the boards by the Ranger defenseman. That was Chromiak. Greyhound still controlled, though Menyosa gets shoved off the puck, though, and it's out to center and intercepted. Now here's Arquette with a step on his man. Arquette tried a shot from a bad angle. It went in behind the goal. And the Greyhounds recover, but cough it up. It's at the point now. Labrache with a high rising shot. That one goes over the net. Reed gets hit behind the Greyhound net by Solomon, and the Hounds get the puck. Here's Sharon breaking up the ice, but they can't get him the puck. Sharon takes a whack at the Ranger defenseman on his way by. Here's McKenzie now, losing the puck at center. Rangers get it back in. Lamb turned around by Reed, and Reed's going to get a penalty, and the Kitchener Rangers will get the game's first power play as Lamb.
I'm not sure what Reed's arguing
trying
there.
to cut to the net, and that looked pretty clear from up here, Jim. He kind of grabbed him and hauled him down. Big size difference there, but Chase Reed gets the first penalty of the hockey game, and there you see Lamb getting thrown to the ice.
Perhaps he was asking for a definition of holding. I'm not sure. But.
So the Kitchener Rangers will go to the power play with a face-off in Greyhound territory to the left of Miller. Romano against Smith in the face-off circle, and the puck comes to the blue line. Smith will get it for the Greyhounds and dump it into Ranger territory. The Rangers recover it, and here they come on the power play. Shot right on, making the save is Miller. That one came from the face-off circle off the stick of Reed. And the save was made.
Rangers power play 7th in the league. The Greyhounds penalty kill 18th. In fact, if you look at the stats, both teams are similar in that regard as far as power play and penalty kills go. So special teams could be huge on this night.
Face off to the right of Miller. Rangers lead it by a score of 1-0. McKenzie wins the face-off. Puck in the Greyhound corner. Evans tried to clear it out. It was stopped at the point. And McKenzie able to find it and has an opening to clear it down the ice. And the Rangers will go back for it. And Here they come out of their own zone. Puck goes off the skate right onto the stick of Zielinski, and he had McKenzie breaking for the net. Good aggressive penalty killing there by the Greyhounds. Now the Rangers come up with a puck. Here's Luca Romano with it. Romano into Greyhound territory. Stops in the face-off circle, try to pass. It was intercepted, but the Greyhounds can't clear. At the half wall now, McKenzie steals, and the Rangers have to regroup. Here's Lamb into Greyhound territory, fighting off a couple of checks. Goes cross ice with it for Pridham. That's too far. And the Hounds fire it off the glass and down the ice. And Lamb will race back to get it with 45 seconds remaining, and the penalty to Chase Reed. 1-0 Kitchener Rangers the score as the Rangers control the puck behind their own goal.
Good sequence there, penalty killing for the Greyhounds as they kept the Rangers from getting anything going offensively.
Here comes Chromiak with the puck now. Pass on the wing. Rangers get into the Greyhound zone. Here's Arquette sending it to the net. Ellis couldn't get there in time. It's back out to the point. Chromiak sliding it over. Stark back to Chromiak. He has a lane. Walking in, fakes. Gets it back to Chromiak with a shot. He hit the side of the net. It's back out to the point now as the Rangers have some pressure. Here's Bilecki to Stark with a shot, and Miller got a piece of that. As the Rangers try and up their lead, Stark sends it into the slot. There's a shot, and Miller makes the glove save and covers up. And Chase Reed will be back on the ice just as soon as the puck is dropped in Greyhound territory. Nice stop there by the Greyhound tender.
Yeah, great stop by Miller, and he got a piece of Stark's shot on the one-timer, and I think that might have been going into the net, Gino, but Stark couldn't beat Miller in that instance right there, and it kind of came off and back out behind Miller.
Face off in Greyhound territory, false start, and we'll do it again to the left of the Greyhound goal. Hayden Ellis for the Rangers. Christopher Brown for the Sioux on this draw. And Ellis gets waved out. Stark in to replace him. And from the draw, Greyhounds get control. Reed out of the box, takes a quick feed from Sharon. Here's Chase Reed going in, trying to send it to the net. It bounced off the Ranger defenseman, and Kitchener recovers. Stark failed to clear it. Puck is bouncing in the air. Chromiak knocks it down, and the Rangers will find an opening to relieve the pressure and get a change in as Chase Reed gets the puck quickly to Sharon. He'll deflect it into the zone. Brown going after it, but he's tied up, and the Rangers fail to clear it. Nice block by Sharon at the half wall. Here's Brown clearing it around the boards. Into the corner it goes as Vignosa gets tangled up with Hedrick there near the face-off circle. Puck trapped in the corner as they all gather around, and it finally comes loose, taken by McNeil. McNeil sends it off a skate down the ice. Gillen hustling back to get it. He's being chased by Hedrick. Gillen gets there, whips it around the boards, picked off by McNeil at the blue line. Here he gets by McKenzie, sends it to the side of the net. Greyhounds cleared away. McNeil colliding there with Travis Hayes, who comes up with the puck. Hayes gave it away. Here's a chance for the Rangers. A shot right on. They see rebound loose in the crease, and it's cleared. Lamb gets it now, sends it in front, and another shot is deflected away by Gillen. Nice defensive play there as the Hounds turned it over, and now we're under siege here as the puck comes in front of the net. It bounced away from everybody. Vignosa cleared it, but not out. McNeil gloved it out of the air. Chase Reed has it now. He'll send it to Hayes. Hayes tried to get rid of it. He was quickly checked by Hedrick. And the Greyhounds having difficulty here in their own zone. Finally, McKenzie digs it out of a scrum, gets to center, and flips it down the ice. But this is going to be an icing call as he hadn't gained center yet. So play is called, and Jim, the Greyhounds very fortunate there that they weren't down 2-0.
Yeah, the Rangers have been swarming the net, and Jack Labrache, 6'5", huge player, standing in front of Landon Miller, causing all kinds of havoc. Hard to move him out of the way when he's standing around there, and he almost had an opportunity to bang home a rebound. Good strategy so far by the Rangers, and they're moving their feet, getting a lot of chances.
From the face-off, puck is bouncing near the boards, and it's taken by the Hounds, cleared but not out as Pridham got a skate on it, or stick on it. Here's Chase Reed behind the Greyhound net. He lost it. It's back out to the point. Rangers with some pressure. There's a shot. That goes off a leg wide of the net. Puck is given away by Kaczynski now. Romano trying to pass it to Pridham. He was too well covered. Romano again now in the corner. As the Rangers cycling that puck nicely, Lamb gets turned around by Reed. Reed clears it to the boards for Travis Hayes. Hayes tried to get it out and did on the second effort. Rangers get it, dump it right back in, but Reed takes control. Ahead for Kaczynski across the line. He shot off a skate, and here come the Kitchener Rangers. The Greyhounds are on a change. Rangers into Greyhound territory. Puck is flipped into the corner. Winkelhofer ties up his man there. The puck comes loose. Around the boards it goes. Hustling over to get it there is Brady Smith. And it's cleared down the ice. And this is going to be an icing call against the Soo Greyhounds with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first period of play. Kitchener 1, Soo Greyhounds nothing. The Rangers have outshot the Greyhounds 8-3. And Jim, the Rangers, in my mind, just seem to have an extra step on the Greyhounds right now.
Oh, definitely. And they're just moving their feet, making plays, putting pressure on the Greyhounds. Greyhounds kind of getting caught running around in their own zone, and that's resulted in Rangers opportunities against Landon Miller, and he's had to come up big.
From the faceoff, Laus clears the puck out to center, knocked down there by Chromiak, and the veteran defenseman sends it over as the Rangers start the rush. Puck is cleared into the Greyhound corner. Pengredich going after it, clearing it around the boards. Laus will pick it up there. Gave it away, but the Greyhounds get it right back and turn it over again. Here's Humphreys with it. Humphreys along the wall gets checked, and Laus will start back. Noah Laus gets to center. Shoots it in. Schabel out of the net. He hasn't had much to do, has he, lately? Or?
Not much at all. He's been watching. It's been a fast-paced game to watch.
Most of the action has been in the Greyhound end in this first period. Puck is cleared in there again, and this time it deflects out of play, so we'll have a face-off coming outside the Greyhound blue line with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this first period of play. Kitchener leading 1-0, the only goal of the hockey game coming at the 1:20 mark. Cameron O'Kett scoring.
Well, both teams seem fairly evenly matched, Gino, in terms of maybe not like that superstar line that I mentioned at the start of the game, but they've got guys who can put the puck in the net and are dangerous and are willing to, make the plays and mix things up. But right now, Kitchener has that extra step, and the Greyhounds are out of position sometimes trying to clear the zone because they're running around chasing the puck too much.
Greyhounds pick up a loose puck now as Andrew brings it across the Ranger line. Turns to the boards. Andrew just backhands it behind the net looking for Smith, who catches up to it there. Back out to the point. Solomon tries to clear it in. It hits a Ranger skate, and it's cleared out, and Solomon regroups at his own line. Got rid of the puck just as a hit was coming his way. McNeil clears it off the boards, and Hedrick gets to the Greyhound line. Took a hit there from Solomon as it's cleared in. Miller leaves it behind the net, and Spencer Evans takes over as the Greyhounds start the rush out of their own zone. There's a pass that was too far, but it came right back to Solomon. This time he dumps it in and heads to the bench on the change as the puck is retrieved behind the Ranger net by Zoo. Zoo leaving it for McNeil. And McNeil directing traffic there as he starts out of his own zone, heading up the middle. Passing it on the wing for Ellis. Ellis, nice play to get into the Greyhound zone with good speed, but too much speed, Jim. It fooled his wingers, and they went in offside. 5.5 left to go in the first period of play. 1-0 Rangers. Back in a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds hockey on Rogers TV. Welcome back to GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. Greyhounds trailing the Kitchener Rangers by a score of 1-0. Face-off coming outside the Greyhound blue line. McKenzie, Kaczynski, and Travis Hayes, the forward unit for the Soo Greyhounds. In there to take the face-off for the Kitchener Rangers, Jack Labrache.
I'm sure this is the type of game that the Rangers want to play. They've only scored 18 goals this year, only given up 17, but obviously not a high-powered offense at this point for the Rangers. You mentioned a couple of key players out with injuries, and that's obviously affecting that part of their game, but defensively, playing well.
Here come the Greyhounds out of their own zone. Puck turned over there, though, and right back into the Rangers. Lachar sends it to the net. Miller makes a save, rebound, they score! 2 Rangers crashing the net, Jim. Ellis was there, and Lachar made that play by just directing it towards the goal, and the Rangers lead it 2-0, and it might have been Labrache that eventually put it in.
Yep, big Jack Labrache comes in and sees the loose puck and spots it after. Here's the opportunity off the start. Goes off the stick of Landon Miller, and the puck's loose, and Jack Labrache is right there to get the rebound and flip it home for a 2-0 Kitchener lead.
14:44, the time of the Rangers' second goal.
And Labrache was giving the Hounds problems throughout this period in front of Miller, causing all kinds of issues for the Greyhounds goaltender, and it pays off for him in that move as he gets to the loose puck before anybody else.
Play resumes here as the Greyhounds move it out of their own zone. Here's Loos coming into Ranger territory, passes it off. There's a shot right on. Nice save there by Schabel.
That's Schabel's first shot against in probably about 6 or 8 minutes. Yeah. And a nice stop as a good opportunity for the Greyhounds to cut the lead in half.
Lachar and Ellis pick up the assists on Labrache's goal, but you know, Jim, sometimes the simplest things, coaches say, go to the net. Go to the net. And there with those two big bodies, not that Ellis is a small guy by any means, but
compared to the other two,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, compared to the other two, but you got to like the way Lachar started that. He just used his power to go to the net, and that created the opportunity. And they finished it off. Here's another chance for the Rangers now. Going to the net is Arquette. There's a shot. That's stopped. And Arquette then gets knocked down. As the puck is cleared away, Reed at his own line. Dumps it back out to center. Ellis got out of the way of an intended hit as he clears it in. Miller out of his net sends it up the boards, and here comes Evans. Gave it away. Hedrick passes it off. Here come the Rangers now in on goal. Hedrick in the slot, fires a shot. That one just goes over the net. As Chromiak in deep has it, getting it to Hedrick. Hedrick in front, goes off his skate, rebound, a shot, and that one goes off a leg, and the Rangers all over the Greyhounds at this point. And finally, the Greyhounds get a loose puck and clear it out, but the Rangers gobble it up and are right back into Greyhound territory. Here's Reed of the Rangers, getting squeezed out of the play by Evans. Puck hits the side of the Greyhound net. Reed of the Rangers tried to get it back to the point. There was nobody there. Sharon in a race for the puck against Zoo. Zoo gets there first and will avoid Sharon as he passes it up the ice. It ends up at center. Winkelhofer clears it back into Ranger territory. And Kitchener regains possession, turning it over as Sharon dumps it in. Zoo will go after it. Mignosa's right on his tail. And the puck ends up behind the Ranger net. Stark tries to dodge Mignosa, lost control of the puck, but he had support there beside him. Rangers chip it away, and is picked up at center ice. Here's a one-on-one. Chase Reed, the only man back. Stark passes it over. Here's a chance, and just missing there was Cameron as the Greyhounds got caught up ice. Stark intercepts a pass. He'll dump it right back in. Landon Miller leaves it behind the net, sends it into the corner, and the Rangers stay right on top of the Greyhounds as Winkelhofer clears it off the boards. This one will go all the way down the ice. A race for it, and it's picked up behind the net by Zoo. Zoo sends it cross ice at center. Here come the Rangers back into Greyhound territory. In front of the net, the shot redirected right on, and a nice save there by Miller, but the puck just hopped over the stick of McNeil.
Keegan Gillen saving a goal there as he bats the bouncing puck away.
Greyhounds get control. Here Smith over to Zwolinski. Zwolinski gets to the line. Puck bounced off his stick. And it just seems every time the Greyhounds have a rush, the puck just either bounces off their stick or they just can't finish off the rush. And credit to the Rangers. They're right on top of the Hounds here now with 2 minutes left to go in the opening period of play. Kitchener leads it 2-0 as the Hounds start another rush now. Heading to center ice. Aerosmith dumps it off. There's a shot right on, and the save is made by Schabel, and that'll create some pushing and shoving in front of the Ranger net. First sign of any rough stuff with 1:46 left to go in the first period of play. And best thing here, Jim, is for the horn to sound, period to end, and the Greyhounds just need to get in the room and just regroup.
Yeah, definitely. The Rangers have really taken the game to them, moving their feet much better, attacking much more, and taking control of the game and throwing the Greyhounds off in their own zone, and they aren't able to get the puck out because of it.
One of John Dean's comments publicly this week was, we have to be ready. The Rangers are going to be peed off that they lost in Flint on Wednesday night, and he was right. The Rangers are playing like they are very upset about that loss, and they're showing it here tonight, up 2-0. As play resumes now, Spencer Evans pinches in from the point. Back is Brown with it. He shot it into the corner. Rangers get it. Pridham can't clear as he gave it away to Mignosa. He gets it to Sharon. Sharon tried a quick pass, hit a Ranger leg. Now it's Reed with a shot through traffic, and it bounces off a body into the corner. The Rangers get it and head up the ice. Here's Lamb sending it over to Pridham. Pridham going in on goal with a shot. He tried to go upstairs, and Miller got a piece of it off his glove, and it deflects out of play. Another close call there for the Kitchener Rangers as Jack Pridham, player who they picked up last year.
Great transition.
Yeah.
The Hounds had an opportunity to get the shot on that. It gets blocked, and Rangers quickly up the ice, making some 3 nice passes there, and Pridham trying to go top shelf, and it just goes a little bit too high. And I think Miller did get a piece of that to make it go that high, because that might have been 3-0. Would have been a huge goal for Kitchener.
On the face-off, puck slapped off the board. Smith got it to center ice. Intercepted there. Arquette with it now. He'll shoot it in as he takes a hit. And it ends up behind the net. Solomon getting it over to Winkelhofer. Less than a minute to go in the period. 2-0 Rangers. Chromiak pinched in. Got the puck away from Smith. Ellis to Humphreys, and that was broken up. And here come the Greyhounds. Brady R. Smith getting it to Lausch. That's broken up. Smith gets the rebound. Behind the Ranger net it goes, and into the corner now. Rangers have it, and we'll move it out. Here's a 3-on-2 developing for the Kitchener Rangers. Arquette sending it over. Here's Ellis going in on goal. Passing it over, they score! Beautiful goal there as Ellis passes it over to Cameron Arquette. He scores his second of the night, and it's 3-0 Rangers.
Well, another example. The Greyhounds can't finish the play down in the Kitchener zone. The Rangers break out quickly. 3-on-2. And some beautiful passing here. Ellis with nice patience, and no chance for Landon Miller as he tries to go with the shooter, but Ellis waits long enough to bring him over. And that's one I could have got, Gino.
Well, I've seen you play. I don't know about that, Jim.
Probably would have bounced over my stick.
Let's not get silly here. I've seen you play. So the Rangers dig the hole deeper for the Greyhounds here with 20 seconds and change remaining in the first period of play. Kitchener leads it 3-0 as they have the puck at their own line. Clearing it to the Greyhound zone now. And Gillen has it into the corner. And Greyhounds get the puck down the ice, and that'll be it as the first period of play comes to an end. First period dominated by the Kitchener Rangers, who outshoot the Greyhounds 13-6. And after 20 minutes of play here in Sault Ste. Marie, it is the Kitchener Rangers 3 and the Soo Greyhounds nothing. We'll be back with the first intermission in a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds hockey on Rogers TV.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, my life changed forever. During the pandemic, all of our lives changed, and many of us turned to alcohol and drugs to cope. As life returns to normal, the increase in substance use from COVID has lingered, and some police services report an increase in impaired driving that caused heartbreak and devastation. Now, more than ever, we need your commitment to never drive impaired, and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
Northside Auto Group is proud to serve Sault Ste. Marie for over 30 years. Northside Toyota, Northside Mazda, Northside Volkswagen, your destination for new and pre-owned vehicles and expert service. Our commitment is simple. At Northside Auto Group, our customers come first. Visit us today.
They were just kids from New Brunswick. Never even left the North Shore before. Dad trained them the best he could. But how could they possibly be prepared? This was the biggest operation the world had ever seen. He'd already served in the First World War, earned the right to stay home, raise his children. But how could he send those boys into battle and not be by their side? Many were killed that day. One was my father.
Major Archie McNaughton was 47 when he died on D-Day, the invasion that marked the beginning of the end of the Second World War.
Inside the GFL Memorial Gardens here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. It's 3-0 for the Kitchener Rangers over the Soo Greyhounds. I'm here with Cameron Reid of the Kitchener Rangers. And Cameron, tough game on Wednesday night. I think a lot of people thought, well, they're going to try and bounce back here tonight, and bounce back you have.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a good first period here. We had that Wednesday, and then we kind of blew it. So we need an important second, and especially a third.
All right, now this summer, obviously a really special summer for you. You heard your name called in the first round of the NHL draft. Talk a bit about that experience and just what that moment.
Awesome. I mean, I had a lot of family there, and it's a dream you think of every day leading up to it. So it was a really special moment, great summer, and probably the best summer I had.
Now, a lot of people don't get to have that dream with a childhood friend, and you did get that with Brady Martin, who's obviously very familiar to people around Sault Ste. Marie. So just talk about that experience and being able to go to your first NHL training camp with somebody that you grew up with.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, he was one of the first players I started playing with, and we just created a bond ever since. I mean, we play him a couple times here in the Soo. Not right now because he's in Nashville, but he's a great guy. It was awesome to be with him for first training camp and development camp as well. It was just lights up the mood. Everyone knows that. He's a great guy, great player, and overall, it was special to be around him.
Now, not a lot of 18-year-olds are wearing a C around the league, but you are. Talk about, if you can, just when you found out you were going to be the captain and what that means to you.
Yeah, I mean, I found out on the plane ride back pretty much to come back to Kitchener from Nashville. That was really special to me. I mean, it's a dream to play in the OHL. It was my whole life, and to be a captain of a franchise like this and a good group of guys that we have this year, it's really a great honor, and couldn't be happier.
You talked about the group of guys that you have this year. There's a lot of outside media noise that you guys are one of the favorites in the Western Conference. Just if you could speak a bit about what it's like in the dressing room right now, and is there that feeling that there is an opportunity for something special this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just think pressure is a privilege, and the last 2 years that I've been here, we've had low expectations. This year it's the opposite. We have high expectations, so it's a little different in the locker room. I mean, it's a little more pressure that way, but we all love it. I mean, that's what we're here for. We want to win. We want the pressure, and we want the end result. So it's a great feeling just to have the high expectations we do this year.
All right, 40 minutes left in this hockey game. What's got to change from what happened on Wednesday night to come out with a victory here tonight?
Just continue to work hard. I think we let off the gas pedal last game on Wednesday, and we just need to continue that hard work and even bring a little bit more here in the second, especially in the third.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Cameron.
Okay, thank you.
Cameron Reid of the Kitchener Rangers. We'll be back with more of the first intermission after this short break. You're watching Ideal Optical Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers TV.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
What Arctic bird of prey is equally comfortable hunting during the day and night? If you guess the snowy owl, you're right. Learn more about these beautiful birds at hww.ca.
What do I like? I like open fires, moonlit nights, chatty letters, rainy days. I like daydreaming. I love this colorful little island of ruby, emerald, and sapphire. Yet often my dark moods come. I'm possessed body and soul by this depression. They say women shouldn't write. Some days I almost give up. But I cannot contain my imagination. I made Anne real. I gave her my love of nature, my love of books, and my childhood dreams. My greatest happiness would be to climb the alpine path and write upon it a woman's humble name.
Lucy Maud Montgomery battled depression, rejection, and sexism to become known around the world for Anne of Green 19 novel.
I can't thank people enough for donating to the war amps.
If I could, I'd give every single donor a big hug, because things that they've allowed these kids to do are amazing.
Gives them the opportunity to experience would.
They can do so much. They can play musical instruments, snow, play hockey, kayak, swim, doors being closed to them, and I find that amazing.
It's affected my family in a way you may never be able to thank you.
Welcome back inside the GFL Memorial Gardens here in Sault Ste. Marie. Through 20 minutes of play, it is 3-0 for the Kitchener Rangers over the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. A great first period by the Rangers, bouncing back after a tough 3-0 loss on Wednesday, and they totally dominated the Greyhounds through the opening 20 minutes. 6 other games going on in the Ontario Hockey League tonight, so let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard right now. And you could see that Ottawa, who is undefeated right now, up 3-0 over Brampton. Sault Ste. Marie native Cooper Foster with a goal in that one. Sudbury still looking for their first victory of the season, down 2-0 to Brantford. London is up 1-0 over Erie. Henry Brustevich with a goal in that one. Kingston up 3-0 over Peterborough. Jacob Battaglia, the second-round pick of the Calgary Flames, has a goal in that one for the Frontenacs. Sarnia tied at 1 with Oshawa. Sarnia's goal scorer Beckham Edwards, a presumptive first-round draft pick in this upcoming NHL draft, and North Bay leads 1-0 over the Guelph Storm. The Greyhounds right back in action tomorrow night, but the road does not get any easier. The 8-1 Windsor Spitfires are in town to take on the Greyhounds. 7:07 puck drop right here on Rogers TV. We'll be back with more of the first intermission after this short break. You're watching Ideal Optical Soo Greyhound Hockey on Rogers TV.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
All I wanted was to see a movie. One down, please.
I can't sell downstairs tickets to you people.
How dare they? I could afford to buy the more expensive ticket. I run my own business. But they refused to take my money. They left me there all night. On what charge? They said I didn't pay the theater tax. But it was really about color.
Sister Desmond, appeal this conviction and your community will stand behind you.
Do you have any idea what this will do to us?
So what are you going to do? Make it right.
Viola Desmond's case inspired Nova Scotia's civil rights movement. She was pardoned 63 years later based on the injustice of her conviction.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help. For more
show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. Gino Cavallo along with Jim Fitzpatrick and Anthony Vlad. After one period of play, it is the Kitchener Rangers 3 and the Soo Greyhounds nothing. And Jim, as we break down that first period of play, it basically, in my mind, boiled down to the Rangers being the hungrier team and the more aggressive team. Greyhounds on their heels a bit. I can't remember a stretch where the Greyhounds had any serious offensive pressure.
Yeah, they just couldn't get any sustained offense going, and the Rangers were all over them, moving their feet. Greyhounds were puck watching. They were getting pressured. They couldn't get the clean breakouts, and that led to Rangers' opportunities. They capitalized on them. Very good first period. I mean, UC Okius is probably sitting there just with a smile on his face. Meanwhile, John Dean's probably not smiling right now, and Greyhounds have got to turn it on big time in the second period. They've got a big hill to climb against a team that's very stingy in allowing goals.
Yeah, the Kitchener Rangers are playing their second straight road game. They were in Flint on Wednesday and lost 3-0 to the Firebirds here tonight. Then they'll, on their way home, they stop in Saginaw tomorrow night, so another tough game there. But the public comments were the Rangers were very upset with losing in Flint.
Right.
Not that they played poorly, but Flint won it basically with 3 goals in the third period. And the Greyhounds realized that the Rangers would be an angry and hungry hockey team. I think they prepared for that, but we got to give credit where it's due. The Rangers seem to be on a mission here to make up for that loss, and the Greyhounds need to find an answer for this Ranger rush.
Yeah, and the Rangers, you know, they come in, they're not happy with their previous performance, and then they get a fluky goal early in the game, and that just seemed to spark them. And boy, they just came on even stronger after that and totally dominated the play. As you mentioned, the Greyhounds rarely had any pressure in the Kitchener zone for any substantial length of time. A lot of puck play in their own zone that's signified by the shots on net and the score. And they've got to turn it around. It's a big hill to climb against a good team.
Yeah, the Greyhounds had, 3 shots on goal or 4 shots on goal in that first period of play. But again, an easy period for the Rangers goalie, Jason Schabel. On the other hand, Landon Miller had to be alert pretty much the whole period because the Rangers just kept getting into that Greyhound zone and peppering shots at him.
Yeah, and you really can't blame him for the 3 goals.
Yeah,
One's a fluke goal that goes off his own player's skate, and the other 2 beautiful passing plays by the Rangers with man advantage situations, 3-on-2s, and they made the Greyhounds pay, and well earned 3-0 lead, no doubt.
All right, let's show you our highlight package from that first period of play. As you mentioned, pretty much dominated by the Kitchener Rangers. As you see, one of the Greyhounds' few opportunities in that period.
And Jordan Sharon, I think, went off the crossbar.
Yeah.
It kind of signified what was going on in terms of the period. Greyhounds not getting those chances.
Here you see some action down in the Greyhound zone, and there's Gillen making a save there, helping out his goaltender. But we'll see the scoring start here as the puck is behind the net, thrown in front, and it goes off the skate of the Greyhound defenseman. Not much Miller could do there.
Yeah, and this is one I think it just really sparked the Rangers. They thought, okay, now things are going for us. Let's keep it going, and they did.
And there's another goal as the Rangers go to the net. Lacharge started it, and it was finished off
Jack
there.
LaBrache,
another big body.
He was in front of Landon Miller all first period, causing a lot of havoc.
And not much Miller could do there as, again, they threw it around, and Arquette, who's had a strong first period, gets his second of the hockey game.
Beautiful feed there from Ellis.
That was the third Ranger goal, so give credit to Kitchener as we have a look at the Northside Auto Group first period scoring summary. Arquette at the 120 mark to start it, his 4th of the year, first of the game. LaBrache, his first of the season at 14:44 to make it 2-0. And then Arquette with his second of the game, 5th of the year at 19:27. Ellis gets his third point, actually. Ellis with 3 assists in this game so far, and Humphreys the other assist. Shots on goal by the Rangers, 13, and by the Soo Greyhounds, 6. Second period action coming up in just a moment. After 20 minutes of play here in the Soo, it is the Rangers 3 and the Greyhounds nothing. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers TV.
Northside Auto Group is proud to serve Sault Ste. Marie for over 30 years. Northside Toyota, Northside Mazda, Northside Volkswagen, your destination for new and pre-owned vehicles and expert service. Our commitment is simple. At Northside Auto Group, our customers come first. Visit us today.
My name's Mark. I'm an alcoholic.
Dorothy T., and I am an alcoholic.
I'm an alcoholic. My name is Victoria.
My journey in AA started years ago when I reached the outside limits of my desperation.
And then these people, just gathered around me. That was the fellowship in action.
If I carry any sort of message with my story, it's that, keep coming back and that this thing does work.
If you have a problem with alcohol, contact AA. It works.
It started as the Jewish market. Victorian houses became storefronts, kosher butchers, tailors, and bakeries. Soon enough, other immigrants came to our community. Each arrival added a piece to the patchwork of our bustling bazaar. We all understood that with hard work, anything was possible. Over time, faces and languages changed, but the spirit of our village inside the city remained. See, it didn't matter where you were from, the market became home.
Neighborhoods like Toronto's Kensington Market have helped shape Canada by bringing newcomers shoulder to shoulder to build new lives together.
I am Audrey. And I'm Leah. Leah inspired me to play hockey.
Audrey has an amputation similar to mine.
The War Amps has helped me by giving me my devices. When I score a goal, I feel really happy.
Welcome back to the GFL Memorial Gardens, and for the first time since 2016, the Toronto Blue Jays will be in the ALCS. They're taking Canada on an incredible ride right now, and it's not done yet. Don't miss Game 1 on Sunday. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Plus.
Incredible ride for sure. The Blue Jays waiting for tonight's result between the Tigers and Seattle Mariners, and that will be their opponents.
That'll be an interesting one if the Tigers are
How do we get into that game?
The Jays. Money.
Oh,
big money.
That's what it is. All set for the second period here. Kitchener Rangers leading by a score of 3-0. And here come the Greyhounds off the face-off. Travis Hayes with a backhand shot wide. And the rebound scooped up by the Rangers, and they will quickly move up the ice as the Ranger goaltender Schauble a little slow in getting up after that last rush. Lamb in the Greyhound corner in a battle there. Greyhounds end up with the puck, and it'll be Mignosa steering it rink wide to Kaczynski. That goes off his stick, and Travis Hayes couldn't bring it across the line. Rangers back the other way on the transition. Here's Pridham sliding it through to Lamb. That's poked away by Winkelhofer, who stepped up on the play, and
Greyhounds are getting called for too many men, I believe, Gino.
Greyhounds.
Or maybe Kitchener.
No, I think it is the Greyhounds. I think they're pointing in that direction.
And we're looking at Schauble there. Jakub Kromiak fell into him on that opportunity by the Greyhounds, and Schauble went down very awkwardly, and he got up slow, as you mentioned, and hopefully he's not
Okay, I stand corrected, Jim. It is a Kitchener Ranger penalty, so the Greyhounds with an excellent opportunity here to try and chip away and get back in this hockey game as they go to the power play. Too many men for the Rangers. Face off in Kitchener territory. Rangers win the draw. Kromiak clears it up the wall, and Arquette had control of it but couldn't get it out. Now he gets it. He's battling with Brown, and it's Ellis heading up the ice with it. Here's Ellis across the Greyhound line into the corner behind the net. Finally gets knocked off the puck, and Mignosa dumps it back to Chase Reed, who will get things going on this Greyhound power play. Reed throws it back into his own zone. Here's Kaczynski getting it over to Mignosa. Across the line to Hayes as the Greyhounds try and set up the power play. Hayes battling in the corner, had the puck taken away from him, and it's cleared down the ice by Cameron Arquette. And back to get it is Chase Reed as Arquette heads off on a change.
Rangers doing an effective job of breaking up the Hounds on their breakout.
Here come the Greyhounds now into Ranger territory. Puck whipped around the boards. McKenzie waiting for it. Gets it back to the point, and Hounds had to hurry to make the play. Here's a chance now. A shot goes high and over the net. That one off the stick of Zwolenski, and another play. And the faceoff will come in Greyhound territory with 49 seconds remaining in the Ranger penalty for too many men on the ice. Kitchener leading it by a score of 3-0. McKenzie in to take the faceoff against Luca Romano. Lots of talent on this Ranger team, Jim. 8 National Hockey League draft picks.
Yeah, they've got a really good mix of it too. Some guys that can bring the heavy play, the so-called talent or offense.
McKenzie getting it into the corner for Louse off his stick. Rangers get it, then clear it off the glass and down the ice. And it will be retrieved in the Greyhound end by Jakob Winkelhofer. As the Greyhounds start out now on the power play, a pass goes off a skate, and the Rangers pick it off at center and get into the Greyhound zone shorthanded. There's a shot. Miller had to make a save there as the puck is cleared to center ice. McNeil of the Rangers dumps it right back in. Miller came out, stopped it, and the Hounds will start out. Here's a pass that goes off the stick of Louse. Lamb in his own zone for the Rangers, outnumbered there. 2 Greyhounds surrounding him, and Greyhounds get the puck out of the box from the Ranger player. That was Humphreys, and he almost had a break there as the Rangers return to full strength. Greyhounds in the neutral zone, lose control of it. Here's Lamb to Humphreys across the line. Humphreys with a backhand shot right on, and Miller makes the save and covers up as Humphreys and Stark combine there to create an opportunity.
Smart play by Miller to trap that puck and get the face-off as we were tired Greyhounds out there. Winkelhofer was trying to get off the ice before this little breakout by the Rangers, and some of the other players had been out there for a while as well.
Face-off coming to the left of the Greyhound goal as Jack Labrache goes in to take the face-off for the Rangers. And the Greyhounds get possession and clear it out. Solomon at center ice, overskated the puck. Christopher Brown back to get it. Penalty coming up here as Lachar hammered Solomon to the boards, and now it's going to be Spencer Evans and Lachar who are going to go at it, as Lachar is going to get the original penalty. Spencer Evans went to the aid of his teammate, and a little size difference there as Lachar has a few inches on Evans, but Evans is a battler, and down they go as the linesmen get in there to break them up. But the Soo Greyhounds are going to get a power play here as Lachar.
Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
could be an instigator, but
yeah. Spencer Evans, though, give him credit, Jim. He went right to the aid of his teammate. Solomon hopefully is okay, and we'll see how this all pans out after the officials make the call. But we have a look at it here as the play goes to the boards. Here comes Lachar. He hits Solomon from behind, and right away Evans is right there. Lachar dropped his gloves, and away they went.
Solomon got up quickly, which is good to see. But yeah, definitely late hit and from behind.
Yeah, so I'm sure the Greyhounds
looks like it might even out, Gino.
Will be campaigning here for a power play, but nothing up on the board so far. And now John Dean wants an explanation here, but Lachar and Evans are the only 2 in the penalty box.
Yeah, I think it's the instigator, and that's going to put Evans off for an extra 10.
All right, so face-off will come outside the Greyhound line as Lachar and Evans go to the box. And we'll try and pick up the call for you. But it's 5-on-5 here, so No extras against the Greyhounds for the fight as Evans came to the aid of Solomon. Play resumes here. Reed of the Rangers gets it to Lamb. Ahead for Romano. Here comes Romano into the zone. Sharon's right on him. Romano tried to center it. Nobody there. Play is called. Penalty coming up to the Greyhounds. It looks like a high sticking indication.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that one came from. But
it's Marco Mignosa that's going to the penalty box. So the Kitchener Rangers will get their second power play opportunity of the hockey game.
Hard to see where that one came from, Gino.
Yeah, I think it was...
Might have been earlier in the play. Rangers brought the puck into the Sioux zone.
So the faceoff comes to the left of Landon Miller. Rangers win the draw. The puck is back to the point. Here's Reed to Pridham. There's a shot right on. Nice save made there by Miller. Lamb behind the net with the puck. Gets it out to Pridham. To Reed at the blue line. Reed sliding it over. As the Rangers control deep in Greyhound territory, Romano tried to get it back to the point. It was intercepted. Greyhounds finally get it out, and Pridham has it. So Evans gets 2, 5, and a 10.
Yeah, that's going to hurt defensively.
And Lachar gets 2 and a 5. So Evans will be gone for balance of this period, a good part of it, as the Rangers try and capitalize on this power play. They have the puck at the Greyhound line. Reed to the side of the net for Romano. There's a shot right on. Nice save made there. Romano goes after the rebound as he's tied up there, and Solomon got to the puck and clears it the length of the ice. Schabel out of the net to play it. Sends it all the way to center ice. Romano stops it there, backtracks, and here come the Rangers now. Bilecki clears it right on goal. Miller makes the save, and he'll hang on. And we'll get a face-off in Greyhound territory with just about 5 minutes gone in this second period of play. Kitchener Rangers 3, Soo Greyhounds nothing. All the goals in this hockey game coming in the first period. Arquette has 2 goals, and Ellis has 3 assists. And that line has been very strong, at least in the first period they were. And some fireworks started in this second period as Lachar and Spencer Evans mixed it up. Greyhounds shoot the puck into Ranger territory. Schabel out of the net, hesitates, and then sends it to center. It's intercepted there by Chase Reed, who will shoot it right back in, and Chromiak will pick it up behind the Ranger net. Chromiak gets it over to Alexander Bilecki. Bilecki cross ice with it, too far. That one ends up behind the Greyhound net. Rangers are on it first, though, as it's in the corner. Centering pass is picked up and thrown back out to the point. Here's Chromiak getting it over to Bilecki. They crisscross. Bilecki, middle of the blue line, sends it into the slot area, and that just missed as the defenseman there had an open corner. Greyhounds rush it up the ice. Here's Sharon. Sharon into Ranger territory, sends it in front. Brown, centering pass, and Schabel covers that up with Mignosa out of the box, heading to the front of the net. And Schabel had to be careful there as Mignosa had an opportunity on the rebound.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Hounds to try to get on the score sheet. Carson Arquette had an opportunity just before the end of the power play of Kitchener. And I think Gino, he was trying to do the same thing he did for his first goal of the game, bank it in off a Greyhound player's skate, because there were no teammates he could pass to, but he was trying to get an angle shot from a very sharp angle.
LeBrash and McKenzie in the face-off circle. Rangers get possession and move it out. Puck is cleared in as Solomon takes a cross check there from Weston Cameron for the Rangers. Now the Hounds lose the puck. Comes back out to center. Zoo has it. He'll shoot it in. Rangers come up with it, but nobody in front. Hounds can't maintain control as they battle in the corner. Puck is cleared into the slot area. The Greyhounds have it covered. McKenzie fanned on the clear-out attempt. And now it's Winkelhofer trying to control it. He gets it to Solomon. Back to Winkelhofer, and finally the Greyhounds get the puck out of their own zone to McKenzie. There he goes with a shot. He scores! Quinn McKenzie lets it go, and the Greyhounds are on the board. cutting the Rangers lead to 3-1.
Well, a great play by Jakob Winkelhofer as he spots Quinn McKenzie in behind the Kitchener defenders. The long lead pass, and McKenzie stays on side, steps over the blue line, has some time to get a shot away, and makes the right decision here as he snaps it low on the glove side on Chauvel, and big goal for the Greyhounds after killing that penalty, Gino, to get back into this game.
And I think Chauvel would like to have that one back, Jim. He had a piece of it, but not all, as McKenzie just shot it towards the net.
One thing with McKenzie, he's not really a big player, but he's got a heavy shot and an accurate shot. He showed that in the preseason, and he's had a good start to this regular season.
So we'll see if that gives the Greyhounds some life, as puck is in Ranger territory now and chipped outside the zone. Recovered at center by Reed, back in his own end now. Sends it ahead, and here's Aerosmith taking a hit. Quinn McKenzie getting the goal. Here comes Pridham now for the Rangers into the Greyhound zone, puts a move on Gillen, and then gets knocked down. And back come the Greyhounds as it's cleared into the Rangers zone. Carson Andrews on it, he gets taken into the boards. Loose puck now cleared away by Lamb and recovered at center by Winkelhofer, who shoots it back into the Rangers zone, and the Greyhounds showing signs of life now after that goal by McKenzie. Here's Andrew in the Ranger corner as the scrum forms there to the right of the net. Zelensky in there as well for the Greyhounds. It comes loose. Zelensky taken into the boards by Veracolo, and the Rangers come out of that with the puck as they move it to center ice. Here's a 2-on-1 developing. Across the line they come. Ellis takes the feed, return pass, and that was out of the reach of Humphreys as the Greyhounds start back the other way. Turned over by the Greyhounds. Reed of the Rangers gets it to Chromiak. Chromiak across the line, passes it off to Humphreys. Back out to the point. Here's Chromiak winding up with a wrist shot through traffic, and that is stopped as the Rangers just go to the net, and we'll have some pushing and shoving there. 11:45 left to go in the second period. Rangers 3, Greyhounds 1. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers.
Gen 7 is more than fuel. Grab a fresh sandwich, hot coffee, or a snack for the road, all alongside the best quality gas you can get. We're your one-stop destination before and after every hockey game.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
First of back-to-back weekend games here for the Soo Greyhounds as they trail the Kitchener Rangers 3-1. Almost at the midway point of this second period of play. Greyhounds getting their only goal here at the 6:25 mark. Quinn McKenzie scoring. Greyhounds right back at it tomorrow night as they take on the high-flying Windsor Spitfires, who lead the West Division and the Western Conference, off to a great start with 8 wins. Puck cleared around the boards off the draw. And the Hounds will move it out. Got as far as the blue line. Ellis intercepts, passes it off to Humphreys. Humphreys tried to get it back to Ellis. It got stopped by Reed's skate. Rangers can't hold it in, and Greyhounds quickly into Ranger territory. Brown knocks the puck out of the air, takes it into the corner. Gets it to Mignosa. He'll whip it around the boards, but Chase Reed couldn't get over there in time and has it at his own zone now. Greyhounds right back in. Here's Christopher Brown to Chase Reed at the point. Reed winds up with a shot. That one goes wide. Solomon keeps the rebound in as he's battling with Arquette. Humphreys gets the puck, shoots it off the glass, but not out. Brown knocked it down. Boy, Mignosa was all alone in front of missed assignment there, but couldn't get him the puck. Here's a turnover by the Greyhounds. Puck bouncing near the line. Kept in by Reed as Mignosa as he goes to the bench. And Humphreys gets the puck and clears it out. Rangers trying to get a change in. as the Greyhounds control the puck. Here's Travis Hayes with a high rising shot over the net. McKenzie picks up the rebound behind the goal as he gets knocked down by Chromiak. And Rangers now running around in their own zone as the Greyhounds apply the pressure. Puck battle ensues just inside the Ranger blue line, and Rangers get it and clear it down the ice. It'll be picked up behind the net by Bangertich. Now he lost it. Rangers trying to center it. That's Hedrick in the corner. He gets tackled to the ice. Puck is behind the Greyhound net as they all gather there, and it finally comes loose, and we've got a couple of players shoving each other there behind the net as play moves up the ice. Travis Hayes hammered into the boards there. Nice hit by Soo, and Soo is a little slow in getting up. Now Brady R. Smith giving a couple of cross checks to Cameron. The puck comes loose. Stark can't clear, but it avoids Solomon and goes outside the line and back to the Greyhound zone. Here's Solomon getting it over to Kaczynski. Cleared down into Kitchener territory. Smith in a battle there for it against Andrew McNeil. Everybody else joins the party. Puck comes loose and it's taken by Romano. Luca Romano leaving it to McNeil. Here comes McNeil out of his own zone, passing it off. It's knocked down by Solomon at the Greyhound line, cleared back out to center. Rangers try and freeze it there along the boards. McNeil has 3 players around him, and finally he is successful in getting the whistle, and the faceoff will come in the neutral zone area as we get some pushing and shoving there after the whistle. And Lachar has served his 7 minutes, steps out of the box, goes to the Ranger bench, and is in a pretty good animated conversation with Chase Reed down there.
Ara Smith going a little bit of irritation with Andrew McNeil. McNeil's going, oh my God, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I want no part of that.
8:41 left to go in the second period of play. Kitchener Rangers leading 3-1. Quinn McKenzie of the Greyhounds with the second period's only goal at 6:25.
That's put a spark into the Hounds. They've played quite well in the last few minutes, and one thing, there's lots of time left in this game. You're only down by 2 goals. You got to play honest hockey, tough hockey. That doesn't, basically you don't want to take those dangerous chances to give Kitchener an opportunity to expand on their lead. So just play it honest, but play it tough as well. And you have lots of time to get back into this one.
From the face-off, Greyhounds control in their own zone. Reed sending it ahead. Too far for Brown. It deflects off a stick into the Ranger corner. Mignosa battling there for it. The puck comes loose and Malecki has it. Backhand pass. Here come the Rangers out of their own zone quickly. Lamb got as far as the line. That was broken up. Reed back the other way. A pass intended for Sharon, knocked out of the air by the Ranger defense. And Mignosa regroups at center. Mignosa gets poke checked. And the Rangers will head back into the Greyhound zone. Here's Malecki taking a feed. Sends it in front. Pridham with a shot right on. Nice save there by Miller, who was at the top of the blue plate. And Pridham's a dangerous player. Let the wrist shot go, but Miller was ready for it.
There's an example of Hounds maybe trying to do a bit too much at center ice. The puck is turned over. The Rangers come in, get some good movement on the puck, and a clear shot by Pridham. Miller's going to make that save 99.99% of the time, and he did there. But the Hounds don't want to let Kitchener get those type of opportunities too often.
McKenzie and Arquette in the face-off circle to the left of Landon Miller. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the second period. 3-1 Kitchener. Greyhounds clear the puck out of their own zone. Malecki tangled up with Travis Hayes at center. The puck comes loose. Rangers get it. And Louse took it away from Arquette. Louse to McKenzie. He gets flattened just inside the blue line. And it's going to be a penalty against the Kitchener Rangers as Quinn McKenzie was trying to get to the puck and he was knocked down. So the Greyhounds will go to the power play.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious there, Diracolo. I mean, McKenzie had dumped the puck in and There was lots of time that had passed, and Duracola made a move over to take McKenzie out.
Yeah.
And referee making the call there, correct one in my opinion.
So another opportunity here for the Greyhounds to chip away at that Ranger lead. 3-1 for the visitors at this point.
Rangers had a great penalty kill earlier in this game.
Greyhounds win this face-off as Reed gets it to Mignosa. In the face-off circle, fans on the shot. Puck is loose, a Ranger falls on it, but the Hounds dig it loose and get a shot that hits the side of the net. Mignosa in the corner to Travis Hayes behind the net. Over to Kaczynski. Kaczynski back to the point to chase Reed with a shot. Nice save there by Schables. Travis Hayes might have got a piece of it on the deflection.
Couldn't get anybody in front to get that deflection, and the Rangers kept the Greyhounds away from the danger zone quite nicely.
Greyhounds start out of their own end. Here's Reed. Dumping it back to Kaczynski. Kaczynski to a streaking Mignosa, who gains the zone. Mignosa gets around his man. Centering pass, a shot right on. Great save by Schables as they whack away at the rebound. And Schables squeezes the pads and hangs on as the Greyhounds come close there on a great opportunity.
Travis Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes right on the doorstep.
Mignosa with a beautiful backhand pass, and Hayes thought he had a chance even on the second opportunity.
Yeah. You see Chromiak just falling on top of him.
Schables hangs tough there, keeps his pads spread so that Hayes couldn't jam it home.
Minute 13 remaining in the Ranger penalty. Face off to the right of Schables. Wasn't very busy in the first period, only faced 6 shots. And the Greyhounds have had 5 here so far. Greyhounds win the draw. Reed looking for an opening, gets it into the circle for Hayes. Cross ice for Kaczynski. That's intercepted. Kaczynski gets it back though to Hayes. There's a shot high and over the net. Kaczynski plays the rebound off the boards. It's back out to the point to chase Reed. Into the circle for Mignosa. Sending it in front. Kaczynski trying to go back door, and the puck was too high. And into the corner it goes as the Rangers clear it to the blue line, but not out. Good job by Reed to hold it in. To Mignosa. He gets checked as McNeil of the Rangers has it behind the net. Can't get it out. Chase Reed to Mignosa. Mignosa to the side of the net for Sharon. Sharon trying to keep it away from Schneider, the Ranger defenseman. Here's Reed. His shot sails high and over the net. Mignosa picks up the rebound to Reed. Good pressure here by the Greyhounds. There's a shot right on. Schables with the save as he had to contend with Sharon in front. And Sharon outnumbered there 2-1 as the Ranger defense try and clear him out of the way.
Hayden Schneider right in the face of Sharon there. Kept his cool. Nice shot though, low by Chase Reed, and Sharon just couldn't get the rebound. Schables with the nice stop and control of the rebound.
22 seconds remaining in the Kitchener Rangers penalty to Max Duracola. From the draw, Rangers get the puck, and it's cleared off the glass right near the Greyhound bench. And play is called as Ranger player Chromiak had his bucket knocked off.
And the Greyhounds are wondering if this is not over the glass, which it is, Gino, because it actually hit the glass where it curves at the bench on the on the outside of the glass where the seats are. So that would be over the glass, a delay of game penalty.
Yeah, there's a discussion going on right now between the officials, but doesn't look like it's going to be a penalty. As Chromiak heads
I can't believe they didn't see that, because there's only one way that puck can bounce off the way it did, and that's by hitting the glass that's curved around.
John Dean
in front of the bench.
John Dean wants to continue the discussion with the official. 17 seconds remaining in the Greyhound power play. Just over 6 minutes to go in the second period. 3-1 Rangers. Kenzie wins the draw. Here's Sharon in the corner, trying to shake off a couple of Ranger players. Gets it to Loos. Loos back to McKenzie. Quick pass to Winkelhofer. He had to get rid of it quickly. Comes to the side of the net. Sharon trying to send it in front. Hits the Ranger skate. Penalty expires. Kitchener back to full strength, but puck still in their zone as Sharon outmuscles McNeil for it. Here's McKenzie taking it behind the net. McKenzie back out towards the blue line, trying to pass, and it goes off a leg and down the ice, and the Greyhounds have to hustle back after it. McKenzie gets poke checked by Pridham. Good job there by the Ranger forward. Gets it to Romano. Romano taken into the boards by Solomon. Made a nice play there. McKenzie on the puck, and the Greyhounds will get it to the Ranger line as Smith gets taken into the boards. Rangers get it out to center ice, picked up by Pridham. Here's Pridham across the line, sends it to the net just wide. And Greyhounds get control of it, lose it though, as the puck goes off the stick of Humphreys as he was trying to go to the net. Humphreys picks it up now into Greyhound territory. Here's Humphreys taking it behind the Greyhound net. Centering pass knocked away nicely by Smith as the Rangers try and apply some pressure here. Puck is in the corner. Rangers with control of it along the boards. Solomon knocks his man down. Greyhounds better be careful here that they don't get a penalty as one of the Ranger players being held along the boards, and finally it comes loose. Brady Smith lost it at center. Bilecki clears it ahead. Here's Arquette as it comes across the line, and on the far side, Bilecki was in there ahead of the play. 4:22 left to go in the second period. Kitchener 3, Sault Ste. Marie 1. Back in a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds Hockey. Roger. Soo Greyhounds trailing Kitchener Rangers 3-1 late in this second period of play. First of 4 regular season meetings between these two teams.
Things heating up in this game, Gino, and both teams knowing the stakes of this one. It's early in the season, but you want these wins to establish yourself, and the Greyhounds wanted to show that they're up there with the Western Conference powers, so to speak.
Greyhounds with a much better second period here after a shaky first, and that goal that Quinn McKenzie got seemed to light a fire under them. Here's Sharon now with a shot right on. That's stopped. Rebound loose in the corner. Ends up behind the net. Chromiak on it. And he'll clear it off the glass. Knocked down at the blue line by Chase Reed, but it came out, so he regroups and gets it over to Menyosa. Menyosa met by Chromiak. Puck kept in. Here's Reed shooting it to the net off a Ranger stick. Good job there as the Ranger player might have saved a goal there as Cameron just got a stick down in time. Cameron Reed of the Rangers passes it off. Ends up at the Greyhound line. Rangers have to clear the zone as they have a man trapped in there. Now Reed has it. Shoots it into Greyhound territory. Around the boards it goes. Romano overskated it. Hedrick overskated it as he takes a shot to the chops. And Hedrick in a battle there with the Greyhound forward Brown. Chase Reed around the boards for Louse. Louse trying to get it to Travis Hayes. That was stopped as it hit a Ranger stick. And now Chase Reed has the puck in the corner, clearing it around the boards. Now gets a return from Gillen. Gillen tried to get out of his own zone. It hit a Ranger body, but good persistence by Gillen as it comes to Hayes in the Kitchener area. There's a shot that goes wide of the Ranger net as the Greyhounds try and put the pressure on, but it's chipped off the boards, down the ice. A race for it as Lachar tries to get it to ahead of Pankrotich to no avail. And there's another hit as Lachar takes down the Greyhound player, and Aerosmith being restrained by the linesman. He wanted to go right after Lachar.
Winkelhofer down.
And it's Winkelhofer that's down, and Lachar is going to go to the box with 2:42 left to go. And Lachar
public enemy number one in the Sioux right now.
Yapping with Evans, who's still in the penalty box. Of course, Evans was the one that came to the aid of. Here's the hit as we take a look at Lachar going in, and unsuspecting hit there as Winkelhofer had just cleared the puck, and there's 1, 2, 3 strides, and down goes the Greyhound player.
Yeah,
So
this will be
an
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's totally unnecessary hit. It's a dangerous one as well. And the referees are looking like they're going to take a look at this one, Gino, on the replay.
Yeah, but right now it's concern for the well-being of the Greyhound defenseman Jakob Winkelhofer, who took the hit, and Lachar is in the box. And good sign, Winkelhofer on his feet.
He's had a good game tonight so far as well.
And being helped to the Greyhound bench.
Right now they've got it up as a 5-minute major, Gino, so I guess they're looking at it to see if it warrants ejection from the game. I mean, it wasn't, a full skate hit, but it was way, way, way late.
Yeah, there you see him clearing the puck, and there's the hit. Because Winkelhofer was watching the puck and where it was going after he cleared it. And, didn't see that coming at all as Lachar just went down with his shoulder and delivered a pretty good hit.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, like, what are you thinking here? Like, why would you do that? The puck's long gone.
Lachar and Evans are still chirping one another in the penalty box.
Here's a look from the ice level.
Yeah, that's like 5 strides that he took.
And the player's totally unsuspecting that anybody would be body checking him at this point.
Yeah.
And that's the danger of it. They're tossing him.
Yeah. So Lachar is done for the night.
Well, the other thing, Gino, I don't know if you take into consideration, but he had a hit similar to that earlier in the game. So you got to take into account, is this guy starting to lose control, right? And what somebody could get hurt.
What it does,
really
is it creates a great opportunity here for the Greyhounds to maybe take over control of this hockey game. They're down 3-1 with 2:42 left to go in the second period. So this major penalty will carry over into the third, and the Greyhounds are just down by a pair here. So what an opportunity for them to get back in the game. But
UC Uokas is not happy with the call with the ejection. But I mean, I think it could be from the earlier hit, which was also sort of similar in fashion of an unsuspecting player.
All right. So we'll see if the Greyhounds can take advantage here as they have the puck in Ranger territory. Here's Brown. Back to the point to Chase Reed. Looking for Hayes in the corner. Hayes on the other side for Kaczynski. Kaczynski fanned on his first pass. Hangs onto it though. Reed to Mignosa. There's a shot right on. Nice save there by Schabel. Brown tries to pass it, and it was intercepted by Pridham, who backhands it down the ice. Chase Reed going back for it with a Ranger near him. Reed got there and sends it over. Now gets the return feed. Here's Reed coming out of his own zone. Backhand pass picked up by Marco Mignosa. Greyhounds with a major penalty power play. Lachar out of the game for the hit on Winkelhofer. Here's a chance for the Greyhounds. A shot, and that was stopped as it hit a leg, and good hustle by Kaczynski to keep it in. But the Rangers do find it and clear it down the ice. They score! The puck dribbled through the pads of Landon Miller on a dump in, and the Kitchener Rangers score a shorthanded goal to make it 4-1.
Wow, this one's just a clearing shot that's bouncing down the ice. And Landon Miller goes to play it, and it looked like maybe his stick wasn't totally flat, and the puck hit it, chipped up through his legs and into the net.
Yeah, we'll have a look at it here as there you see the Rangers taking control, and the puck goes down the ice, and Miller goes down, and somehow, some way that snuck through his pads. And was it McNeil that shot it? So the Rangers get a shorthanded goal and take a 4-1 lead.
Well, that could be the dagger for the Greyhounds as you get this 5-minute man advantage and you can't take advantage of it right away, and the Rangers end up getting another fluke goal, but they all count.
And Miller makes a save on a dump in.
The crowd with the Bronx cheer.
Greyhounds have the puck now, a minute 12 left to go in the second period of play. 4-1, Kitchener Rangers lead. Here come the Greyhounds. Lose at center to Zielinski. Here's a chance for Smith with a shot. Great save there. The rebound is stopped. And the puck is underneath Schabel. Sharon in there trying to poke it in, but he's got it covered as the Greyhounds come right back.
Great opportunity by Brady R. Smith there. Takes the shot on the nice little feed, but I mean, Schabel knows that it's going over to Smith and moves over quickly and makes a really nice stop, and then manages to keep the puck out as the Hounds swarm the net looking for a, well, maybe one of those goals that the Rangers got.
It looks like the puck's missing, Jim. Schabel is shaking his pad, seeing if it's caught in there, and finally they find it.
Taking home a souvenir. Is that allowed?
55 seconds left to go in the second period of play. A shorthanded goal that squeezes through the pads of Landon Miller. Restores the Ranger 3-goal lead with the Hounds on a power play. Kaczynski back to the point to Reed, into the face-off circle in front. There's a shot, great save there. And the puck just hopped over the stick of Kaczynski. There's a shot, they score! Minyosa from the face-off circle. And the Greyhounds right back in it on the power play.
Well, Schabel makes one great save on a one-timer. And then the second opportunity for the Hounds with the man advantage, and he's not able to get over. And Minyosa gets the feed he wants, winds up, fires, and gets it into the back of the net. Schabel getting somewhat of a piece of it, but not enough. And still with 2:51 to go in the man advantage, the Greyhounds have pulled within 2 goals once again.
Well, the Greyhounds are not very happy at something, Jim. John Dean is just livid down there as he was trying to get the officials' attention. And anyway, we have a 4-2 hockey game here with 34 seconds left to go in this second period of play, as Minyosa manages to squeeze one through the pads of Schabel. So that makes up for the softie, and it's back to a 2-goal Ranger lead.
I think they're doing the clock, Gino. They thought the clock was still running, I believe.
Greyhounds right back into the Ranger zone off the faceoff. At the side of the net, Travis Hayes tried to center it. It's picked off by Pridham, and here come the Rangers up the ice. Pridham across the line, passes it off. There's a shot right on, and Landon Miller makes the save. As Luca Romano, who was with Pridham.
They're having issues with the clock, Gino. It was just running again like about 2 seconds after the whistle blew. I'm not sure, maybe some of the controls are sticking for some reason, but they're calling the officials over.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, was what the Greyhounds were complaining about earlier. And you would have thought they might have gone to the camera that shows the clock and the puck going in to make sure they had the right time if there was an issue with the clock not running properly.
So they appear to have that all straightened away. And they've got 4 seconds back up on there, so 20.9 to be exact remaining in this second period of play. An eventful second period.
A little bit of everything.
Greyhounds have scored twice, but the Rangers have one as well, so they lead it 4-2. And Lachar, who's been a factor in this game physically, out of the game with an undisciplined hit on Winkelhofer, and we haven't seen him back. Puck is cleared into Ranger territory, cleared around the boards. As the Greyhounds desperately try and get another shot before the end of the period, but that won't happen as the horn sounds, bringing an end to period number 2. And after 40 minutes of play here in the Soo, it's the Kitchener Rangers 4 and the Greyhounds 2. We'll be back with the second intermission moment. You're watching Ideal Optical Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers TV.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, my life changed forever. During the pandemic, all of our lives changed, and many of us turned to alcohol and drugs to cope. As life returns to normal, the increase in substance use from COVID has lingered, and some police services report an increase in impaired driving that caused heartbreak and devastation. Now, more than ever, we need your commitment to never drive impaired, and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
Northside Auto Group is proud to serve Sault Ste. Marie for over 30 years. Northside Toyota, Northside Mazda, Northside Volkswagen, your destination for new and pre-owned vehicles and expert service. Our commitment is simple. At Northside Auto Group, our customers come first. Visit us today.
They were just kids from New Brunswick. Never even left the North Shore before. Dad trained them the best he could. But how could they possibly be prepared? This was the biggest operation the world had ever seen. He'd already served in the First World War, earned the right to stay. One was my father.
Major Archie McNaughton was 47 when he died on D-Day, the invasion that marked the beginning of the end of the Second World War.
Welcome back inside the GFL Memorial Gardens. It is 4-2 for the Kitchener Rangers over the Soo Greyhounds through 40 minutes of play. I'm with Spencer Evans of the Greyhounds, and a better second period for you guys. You got the lead cut in half before the end of the period, and you get a power play to start the third.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're, all cylinders are going now, and we just got to keep building on that.
First period was obviously a tough one for you guys. Started that second period, you dropped the gloves. Was that trying to get something going on the bench, or just some frustrations boiling over?
Yeah, just tried to spark the boys a little bit, and obviously, it's a dirty hit. It's pretty gutless, so he's got to pay for that, and you got to do what you got to do.
You on the road trip, you got Marco Mignosa back in the lineup. He scored a goal right at the end of the period. Talk about what it means to have him back with you guys. He's the only overager on the team, and just the leadership he brings.
Yeah, he's a great player and great human on and off the ice. So for the young guys, it's awesome, and for myself, just to learn from him every day and how he carries himself. And he's been in the NHL camp, so just bringing that back to us and teaching us is awesome.
You got another player who's on an NHL roster right now, Brady Martin. Did you get a chance to watch the game last night?
Yeah, all the boys watched, and that was pretty cool. It's pretty special, and super happy for him and his family. He's a great player, and he's doing great up there. But we definitely want him back.
You guys had a 6-game road trip. A little bit odd to start the season with the road trip, and 2 of your longest road trips of the season already in the bag. But talk about the the bonding that happens on these road trips, and to get that in early in the season, especially with so many young players on this team.
Yeah, lots of bonding. Hotels with the boys. It's fun. Lots of hard work, and I think it's good. To get used to those long road trips because we got a couple of them. So the young guys are used to them now, and we're pretty successul. So I think we can keep that rolling. It'll be good.
All right, 20 minutes left in this hockey game. What do you guys got to do to pull this one out?
Just keep our foot on the gas. We got our formula. It's there, and just bury our chances.
All right. Thank you very much, Spencer.
Thank you.
Spencer Evans of the Soo Greyhounds. When we come back from break, we'll have a one-on-one interview with Brady Martin. You're watching Ideal Optical Soo Greyhound Hockey on Rogers TV. Predators doing the victory, or the rookie lap, I should say, all by himself, and what a moment for Brady.
Northside Auto Group is proud to serve Sault Ste. Marie for over 30 years. Northside Toyota, Northside Mazda, Northside Volkswagen, your destination for new and pre-owned vehicles and expert service. Our commitment is simple. At Northside Auto Group, our customers come first. Visit us today.
My name's Mark. I'm an alcoholic.
Dorothy T, and I am an alcoholic.
I'm an alcoholic. My name is Victoria.
My journey in AA started years ago when I reached the outside limits of my desperation.
And then these people, you know, just gathered around me. That was the fellowship in action.
If I carry any sort of message with my story, it's that, keep coming back and that this thing does work.
If you have a problem with alcohol, contact AA. It works.
It started as the Jewish market. Victorian houses became storefronts, kosher butchers, tailors, and bakeries. Soon enough, other immigrants came to our community. Each arrival added a piece to the patchwork of our bustling bazaar. We all understood that with hard work, anything was possible. Over time, faces and languages changed, but the spirit of our village inside the city remained. See, it didn't matter where you were from, the market became home.
Neighborhoods like Toronto's Kensington Market have helped shape Canada by bringing newcomers shoulder to shoulder to build new lives together.
I am Audrey.
And I'm Leah.
Leah inspired me to play hockey.
Audrey has an amputation similar to mine.
The War Amps has helped me by giving me my devices. When I score a goal, I feel really happy.
Hounds win the draw. Brady Martin going in on goal. He scores. Quick shot there by Brady Martin. Get up and down the Greyhound steal. Here's Martin. In on a low. The shot. He scores. A chance for Virgilio. Shot scores. Brady Martin with a burst of speed.
All right, Brady, we're going to jump right into it. Some really hard-hitting questions for this interview.
Yep.
So we're going to start. Your favorite meal. It doesn't have to be a pregame meal, just your favorite meal.
I'd say my favorite meal is probably steak and mashed potatoes.
Steak and potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Meat and potatoes guy.
Yeah.
Favorite snack or dessert?
Like a chocolate cake my mom makes. She makes it's like her own recipe. It's like caramel, chocolate, and whipped cream.
So Mom needs to know that the Rogers broadcast crew loves cake.
Yeah.
So if there's ever any that comes to Sault Ste. Marie, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. So favorite movie or TV show?
Movies, I like the Mall Cop, like Paul Blart.
Yeah.
1 and 2, and then show, like Stranger Things or Outer Banks.
Okay, perfect. So favorite thing to do when you're not at the rink?
It's like hang out with family, friends, and like play like other sports like baseball, golf, go fishing.
When blank comes on the playlist, you're singing every word.
Like what song?
Yeah.
I don't know, like a Zach Bryan, like a 9-ball Zach Bryan.
So you're gonna give us an example right now?
No, I can't sing.
You're not gonna do that?
Okay, I'm not
perfect.
a singer.
All right, any hidden talents or hobbies that fans may not know about?
Like I play baseball, like softball in the summertime, and flag football and golf. Pretty
pretty sporty guy.
Yeah, like I play different sports. I got like all kind of sports.
Your favorite hockey player growing up and why?
It was Crosby growing up. I mean, he was like the go-to guy.
He's the guy.
Everyone loved him.
Golden goal.
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
Yeah, golden goal. Does everything the same way. Like he's a routine guy. So I was a big fan of Crosby.
All right. So if you could play any other sport other than hockey professionally, what would it be?
Probably baseball or golf. Golf maybe.
Can you break 80?
Yeah. Like I play actually 84.
All right. So if we have a scramble, I'm calling you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Sure,
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll play on your team.
All right. So if you could switch place with any athlete for a day, who would it be and why?
It's a tough one. I would like to switch. I don't know. With maybe like LeBron James.
LeBron James, a shot at history, and there it is!
See what the basketball life's like. Baseball is like, you know what baseball is like, but like I kind of want to see what a basketball day would look like.
Perfect. And LeBron, I mean, greatest of all time.
Yeah. Continues to be the alpha dog of the NBA.
Well, let's not get into that argument right here, but
yeah, it's one of the greatest.
So any pre-game rituals or superstitions that you have?
Not really, no. Just tape my stick, listen to music with Travis Hayes. We go up and sit in our own spot. But then usually at like an hour before warm-ups, I'll go play some sewer ball. That's about it.
All right. What's one item on your bucket list that you need to scratch off?
I want to go to a Stanley Cup final game. That's what I want to do, like be in the Game 7 Stanley Cup final or like World Series. Like.
So what team needs to be in it?
I like the Oilers. I'm an Oilers fan, so
yes, okay.
I wanted the Oilers to win last year, but
that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I was with you on that ride last year. It was great.
Yeah.
So we saw in the media articles the team went for the farm visit. What was that like to bring them and let them see a little bit behind the scenes of what it was like for you growing up?
Yeah, it was cool. Like a lot of people hadn't been to a farm before, and like some people when they think of a farm, it's like a little barn. My family farms for a living, so it's like a big operation. So it was pretty cool to see them come, and they were shocked. Like a lot of them didn't know like what it was like and how like people think it's like a dirty barn, but we like to keep ours clean. Like so it's not like a dirty place. It's like a work spot for us.
So last one is not a question, but an opportunity for you to just give a shout out, a thank you to anybody back home that's helped you along your hockey journey, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents obviously and my friends that have helped me along the way, past teammates, coaches, and obviously like my coaches here too. Like they're pushing me last year. It was my tough first year. Like it's hard coming in, so yeah, like extended family too, just aunts, uncles, cousins, just for pushing me and being supportive when I'm not home.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
All I wanted was to see a movie. One down, please.
I can't sell downstairs tickets to you people.
How dare they? I could afford to buy the more expensive ticket. I run my own business. But they refused to take my money. They left me there all night. On what charge? They said I didn't pay the theater tax. But it was really about color.
Sister Desmond, appeal this conviction and your community will stand behind you.
Do you have any idea what this will do to us?
So what are you going to do? Make it right.
Viola Desmond's case inspired Nova Scotia's civil rights movement. She was pardoned 63 years later based on the injustice of her conviction.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. We are in the second intermission. The Soo Greyhounds trailing the Kitchener Rangers by a score of 4-2, and we have a hockey game.
Certainly do, and lots of excitement in the second period. The first, the Rangers dominated totally. The second period, well, the Hounds came back. They had a little bit of jump in their step and playing a little bit better and started taking the game to the Rangers and finally broke through, and now we've got a really interesting third period.
Yeah, it was a lot of interesting things happening in that second period, to say the least.
Well, there's a little bit of everything. Fights, goals, really another odd goal, and some good power play by the Greyhounds that they have to get going. Their power play hasn't been really effective so far this year, but it's starting to get there. But They need this. They got a 2-minute power play to start the third period. That's what they need to get going, and this is a crucial time for it.
Yeah, major penalty to Lachar, and 2 and change left in that penalty. I think my voice is going to hold out, Jim, so don't panic.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure 100%, but let's go to the highlight package of that second period of play. As I mentioned, the Greyhounds trailed 3-0 after 20, but to their credit, they got back into it.
Physical play. These two teams picked it up, and for the Rangers a little bit too physical on a couple of hits that led to power plays for the Greyhounds. But Schabel with some nice saves early in this period as the Greyhounds put the pressure on to try to cut into the 3-0 Kitchener lead. And Schabel was standing pretty tall. He made some really nice stops. Yep. There's a great one on Brady Smith. And then he smothers the loose puck afterwards. But here's the first Greyhound goal. A great feed from Winkelhofer to Quinn McKenzie. And he just snaps it home. And Schabel hadn't seen a lot of shots, and I think maybe that's a factor there. You know, he's not kind of totally mentally into the game, and I'm sure he wanted that one back.
And I think that's what got the Greyhounds going. And here's the goal that somehow squeezed past Miller to get the Rangers back to their 3-goal lead, but then the Greyhounds came back on the power play as Sharon was standing in front there, and Menyosa put it in from the face-off circle. So the Northside Toyota Group scoring summary: McKenzie, his second of the season at 6:25. Andrew McNeil shorthanded, and Marco Menyosa at 19:27. That was a power play goal. 22-17 the shots. We'll be back with third period play-by-play action in a moment. Rangers 4, Greyhounds 2. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers TV.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Sioux and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
What Arctic bird of prey is equally comfortable hunting during the day and night? If you guess the snowy owl, you're right. Learn more about these beautiful birds at hww.ca.
What do I like? I like open fires, moonlit nights, chatty letters, rainy days. I like daydreaming. I love this colorful little island of ruby, emerald, and sapphire. Yet often my dark moods come. I'm possessed body and soul by this depression. They say women shouldn't write. Some days I almost give up. But I cannot contain my imagination. I made Anne real. I gave her my love of nature, my love of books, and my childhood dreams. My greatest happiness would be to climb the alpine path and write upon it a woman's humble name.
Lucy Maud Montgomery battled depression, rejection, and sexism to become known around the world. Green Gables and 19 novels.
I can't thank people enough for donating to the war amps.
If I could, I'd give every single donor a big hug, because things that they've allowed these kids to do are amazing.
Gives them the opportunity to else would. They can do so much. They can play musical instruments, snow, play hockey, kayak, swim, doors being closed to them, and I find that amazing.
It's affected my family in a way that we may never be able to thank you.
Welcome back to GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. Third period action underway. The Greyhounds will start the period with a power play. A little over 2 minutes remaining in that power play as Lachar picked up a major penalty for his hit on Winkelhofer, who is back on the end of the bench. So that's a good sign that he's available. And the Greyhounds trying to get back in this game early on that power play. Menyosa tried to pass. It hits the skate of Pridham as he brings it into the Greyhound zone. Puck ends up behind the net. Into the corner it goes now, and Rangers Romano battling with Chase Reed, and Menyosa over to help out, gets the puck. Luca Romano staying right with him, but Menyosa gets it over to Chase Reed. To Travis Hayes as the Greyhounds get into the zone. There's a shot off the leg. Rangers can't clear, and it's back to the point. Kaczynski quickly over to Reed. There's a shot wide of the net. Mignosa on the rebound. Sends it in front. That's knocked away, but not out. Kaczynski to Mignosa, top of the circle. Chase Reed at the point. On the other side to Kaczynski. Back to Reed. There's a shot, and that one just missed. As it deflects off Mignosa's stick. A nice job to beat the Ranger player to it. It's loose now as Reed was ready to slap it, but Kaczynski took it from him. And it ends up going past Reed down the ice. So a broken play there as the Rangers will get some fresh penalty killers out there. Puck is behind the Greyhound net. Winkelhofer will start out. The pass to Loos, too far. Cleared back into the zone. Miller out of the net, leaves it for Winkelhofer. Now he decides to play it into the corner instead, and Loos is there to get it. Here's Loos. A forward pass to McKenzie. McKenzie across the line to Sharon with a shot, and that didn't get through. Puck ends up in the corner, back out to the point. Winkelhofer. Quick pass to Sharon. He tried to get it to the net. That bounces off the boards and out. And Winkelhofer regroups in his own zone. He's being chased by Stark. Winkelhofer gives way to Sharon with it as the Rangers get set to return to full strength. Here's Sharon into the Rangers zone, loses the puck as Kitchener returns to full strength now. Puck is cleared in by McKenzie, and it'll be stopped behind the net by Chromiak.
Pretty good penalty kill by the Rangers, especially to start this period. Greyhounds had some puck movement, but not enough to get a clear scoring opportunity, and it remains 4-2.
Solomon clears the puck into the corner. Gillen battling there for it. Gets some help from Carson Andrew. And the winger moves out now. Andrew through center ice. Dumps it into the Ranger corner. Lucky going after it. Andrew nudged him off the puck. As the Rangers move it out. Here's a lead pass intended for Arquette, too far. And this one will go right to the net on the deflection as Gillen takes over. Gillen, long stretch pass for Brady R. Smith. He shoots it into the zone. Cleared right back out by the Rangers. Gillen controlling at his own line, getting it to Chase Reed. Reed back to Gillen. Forward pass, that's picked off as the Rangers get it into Greyhound territory. Gillen will send it into the other corner for Chase Reed. A quick pass too far for Travis Hayes. It gets by him down the ice, and the Greyhounds called for icing with just over 3 minutes gone by in this third period of play. Kitchener Rangers leading by a score of 4-2.
Spencer Evans now comes out of the penalty box. That's good for the Greyhounds defensively.
Yeah, he'll be well rested.
Yep. And the one thing the Greyhounds, as I mentioned earlier, when the Hounds were down by 3-1, they just got to play a simple game, an honest game, but be aggressive, but not be foolish. Keep things in check and work your way back into the game with another goal.
Puck is at the Ranger blue line. Hayes took it away from the Ranger forward, cleared it in, but Kitchener gets it back. And there's a long pass intended for Cameron. That's too far. Greyhounds clear it down the ice, and again, another icing call. Greyhounds won't be able to change as the faceoff will come to the left of Landon Miller.
The Rangers, they've only given up 17 goals this season, 3 of them on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So that they can play good defensively, and I'm sure right now they're just playing it close to the vest as far as offensive thrust goes. But if they get a chance, they're going to go up again, go and get it. The Greyhounds have to be careful.
Here's Brown, across the line to Sharon. Sharon cross ice for Mignosa, going hard to the net. That was too hard, didn't work. Rangers send it back. Here's a pass to Pridham. Pridham inside Greyhound territory, lost control of it as he was checked by Evans. And now the Hounds controlling in their own zone. Bengertich lost control of it. Rangers back into Greyhound territory, lose it. Here's a lead pass now. A chance for the Hounds, and Sharon had his stick lifted just as he was getting set to shoot it.
Great play by number 43, Andrew McNeil, there to get back on Jordan Sharon.
Here's McNeil now, carrying into Greyhound territory. A wrist shot steered away and knocked out of play by Landon Miller. And we'll get a face-off in Greyhound territory.
Well, Pangratesh with a beautiful feed up to Jordan Sharon, and Sharon has an opportunity to scoot in alone. Just couldn't get control right away. And then when he does, McNeil is there to
just got enough of his stick on it.
Make sure he doesn't get the shot. And that's kind of been the story for the Hounds all night, as you saw there. Sharon losing control. They've done that a lot where they're trying to make passes or get shots away, and they're just not connecting with the puck, and it's one of those nights maybe.
Rangers pick up an errant puck in Greyhound territory. It's cleared in behind the net. Winkelhofer going after it, clears it up the boards, not out though, and recovered by McKenzie. Now the Greyhounds get to center. Across the line, McKenzie drops it off. There's a shot. Redirected, they score! Great deflection there as the puck came from the point, and the Greyhounds right back in it, trail by 1.
I'm not sure if Noah Lawless got that or not, but it was a great play by Quinn McKenzie over the blue line as he kept control of the puck, then dropped it. And the shot by Travis Hayes, I believe. Well, I'm not sure if it went off a Kitchener player. Noah Lawless was going to the net.
Yeah, there it is. 2 Rangers converging upon Loos, and McKenzie just dropped it off. Hayes sending it to the net, and it looks like it went off the Ranger player's skate, Jim, on that play.
Well, the Rangers have had a couple of odd goals tonight, and the Hounds get one back. So a 1-goal game with plenty of time to go in this contest.
So credit to the Greyhounds. They've clawed their way back into this game. Lee trailing now by just 4-3 score. Reed to Hayes, who dumps it in. Loos will go after it in the corner. He takes a hit. As Loos gets roughed up, the puck comes in front of the net. Reed going after it, and Loos a little slow in getting up. Here's Chase Reed getting it to Kaczynski. There's a shot, and that one just goes wide of the net as the Greyhounds right back in this game now, trying to tie it up. It is Travis Hayes that gets the goal, so it went off the Ranger defenseman's skate.
Well, that's a big boost for the Greyhounds, who, you know, the first goal that Kitchener got early in the game off their own player's skate, and now they get one back, so a good bonus for them in that regard.
Hayes from McKenzie, the scoring play at 5:20. We'll be right back in a moment. Kitchener 4, the Greyhounds 3. You're watching Ideal Optical. See Greyhounds hockey on Rogers TV.
Gen 7 is more than fuel. Grab a fresh sandwich, hot coffee, or a snack for the road, all alongside the best quality gas you can get. We're your one-stop destination before and after every hockey game.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room.
Back live at GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie as we see Travis Hayes being attended to down at the Greyhound bench. Doesn't look like anything serious. So Hounds down by a goal after trailing by 3 after 1 period of play. They've clawed their way back into this one.
I think for Travis Hayes, it would have to be very serious for him to not come back.
Loose puck now in Ranger territory as the Greyhounds work the boards for it. Chase Reed pinches in from the point, left it there. Sharon tried to get there, but there were a couple of Rangers in the vicinity, and they do manage to get it out. Rangers controlling in their own zone. Here's a pass to Pridham at center. Pridham will shoot it in. Around the boards it goes. Chase Reed tried to get it up the ice quickly. It bounced off a Ranger stick. Chromiak has it. Shovels it ahead as the Greyhounds are right in there quickly on the forecheck, but Rangers are able to get out as Pridham gets it into the zone. Brown tried to clear it and mishandled it. Rangers pounce on it now. Romano tried to send it to the front of the net. That hits a skate. Here's Reed of the Rangers into the corner. Lamb with it now. Back out towards the blue line as the Rangers press for some offense. Puck is cleared to the blue line, and it came out. So the Rangers will have to clear, and the Greyhounds have some time to move it. There's a long stretch pass intended for Carson Andrew. That one went right to the net, and Shovel had to be careful to get rid of it.
That puck went out of play, Gino. Yeah. I'm not sure why.
It did. They just realized that and whistle it down with 12.5 minutes left to go in the third period of play. The Kitchener Rangers leading by a score of 4-3.
Yeah, and you look at the Rangers right now, Gina, they're a little back on their heels.
Yep.
They seem to come out in the third just going, okay, let's nurse this 2-goal lead. But as the old saying goes, the worst lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead, because that's the mindset that sometimes comes into play in the team in front, sitting back a bit too much.
Well, they had a great first period, but to the Greyhounds' credit, they fought their way back into this game, and it all started when Quinn McKenzie scored at 6:25 of the second period to make it a 3-1 hockey game, and that really seemed to spark the Greyhounds, and they...
Yeah, they didn't have a good first 20.
No.
Since then, they've been playing quite well.
And here they are again. The pass back to the point to Solomon is too far. This one will sail all the way down the ice as both teams change on the fly. Miller sends it into the corner for Solomon. Hounds coming out of their own zone. There's a long pass intended for Hayes. That's knocked away. Inside Ranger territory. Puck is loose. One of the Ranger players fell on it. Comes out. And the Greyhounds get it right back in as Hayes collides with Cameron. Puck ends up in the Ranger corner. Hayes digs it loose, clears it up the boards, but Evans had left the area, and the puck goes all the way down the ice. Evans back to get it with Hedrick right on him. McKenzie directs the puck into the zone. Big hit on Hayes by the Ranger defenseman Deracolo. Rangers bring it out now. Here's Hedrick across center ice. He gets hammered into the boards by Louse. Evans with the puck in the corner. Will flip it out to center ice. That's kicked away and into the Greyhound zone as the Greyhounds control behind their own net. Evans coming out carefully now. Passes it to Brown. That was behind him. It ricochets off his skate down the ice. And the Rangers will retrieve it in their own zone, but the Greyhounds take it right back at the blue line. Sharon tried a cross-ice pass. It's intercepted, and there were two Rangers heading into the Greyhound zone, and they lost it at the blue line.
Tanner Lamb overskates the puck.
Yeah, Chase Reed has it. He clears it off the glass to Mignosa. Hounds heading into Ranger territory. Mignosa got as far as the corner. Puck taken away from him, but the Greyhounds get it right back. Reed with a shot. He scores! Turnover by the Rangers. Goal by the Greyhounds. It's 4-4.
Well, a great opportunity by the Rangers to perhaps have a 2-on-0 break. Tanner Lamb overskates the puck at center ice, and then the puck gets back into the Kitchener zone. The Rangers turn it over, and Chase Reed has time to take a look, and he makes no mistake. And it's a tie game with 10:22 to go in the third period. And boy, is momentum turned in this one.
Yeah, and the Soo Greyhounds take control of this hockey game as it's tied now 4-4. And that's the third unanswered goal scored by the Greyhounds, who trailed 3-0 after 20 minutes of play.
Hayden Ellis and Carson Andrew.
10:22 left to go in the third period. We're all tied up. Rangers have the puck now at the line. There's a shot. Miller makes the save. Here come the Greyhounds out of their own zone again. Andrew as far as the Ranger blue line. Puck knocked away from him. And it's out to center ice. Reed from Mignosa, the scoring play at 9:38. Puck right back into Ranger territory. As Kitchener Rangers are reeling here now, but Arquette starts back. A pass to Stark. Stark gets hit into the boards, and puck bounces off Daracolo out of play, as Solomon gives Daracolo a shot there right in front of the bench. 3-0 Kitchener after one period of play, 4-2 Kitchener after two, and the Greyhounds rallying here in the third with 2 goals. Travis Hayes at 5:20 and Chase Reed at 9:38.
Yeah, you got to wonder what that Halkard ejection has changed this complexion of this game.
Rangers win the faceoff. Daracolo with a shot right on. Nice save there by Miller. Rebound in the corner. Gillen behind the net, clearing it off the boards to Louse at center ice. It got by him and goes all the way down the ice. And back to get it is Bilecki. Quickly to the Greyhound line. Cleared in behind the net. Bilecki retrieves it, sends it in front. That didn't work as the Rangers couldn't get to it. Now it hits a Greyhound skate coming out of the zone and back behind the net. Bogradich has it, getting it ahead for Carson Andrew just off his stick into the Rangers zone behind the net. And the Rangers will move it out. Here's Pridham. Pridham a pass at center ice. It's cleared into Greyhound territory. Reed will go back to get it, clears it up the boards, intercepted. Pridham at the blue line turns, fires a shot right into the glove of Landon Miller, and it's a good thing he got that. Jim Cameron was right on the doorstep, and he would have had a clear shot there with 8:41 left to go in regulation time. Greyhounds 4 and the Kitchener Rangers 4. Quite the comeback by the home team tonight.
Yeah, and the one thing you notice, Gino, is we haven't heard a lot of Hayden Ellis and Cameron Arquette since the first period, and they've been basically silent over the last 30-some minutes. And that's they were huge in the first period, dominating play.
From the faceoff, Greyhounds in their own zone with it. Chase Reed, who has the tying goal, couldn't get it out. Trapped along the boards. Now it's taken by Brown. He'll clear it behind the net. And it's Winkelhofer getting it to Reed. Ahead for Brown into the Ranger zone. Brown forced wide of the goal. Puck ends up in the corner. Rangers have it. And here they come to center ice. Chromiak got it to Lamb, to Pridham. That's taken away from him by Chase Reed. Reed behind his own net now. Sending it up the wing for Sharon. That's intercepted. Brought back across the line by Romano into the slot area. Romano, nowhere to go, just dumps it into the corner. Picked up there by Lamb, and he turned it over to Chase Reed. Greyhounds give it right back. Here's Arquette behind the net. Into the face-off circle, getting it over to Stark, who's sneaking in, but puck bounced away from him, and it's Mignosa clearing it off the boards and down the ice. McNeil racing back to get it, but it'll be an icing call against the Greyhounds with 7.5 minutes left to go in period number 3. All tied up at 4 goals apiece here.
And the Greyhounds are going to have a lot of tired players out there. They were trying to get off the ice, but the puck was shot a bit too hard. And Chase Reed is really tired right now, as are the other Greyhounds that have been out there. And Kitchener had a good line change there and kept the pressure on. Could be a huge face-off at this point of the game.
All right, so Winkelhofer wants to go back out there. Humphreys in to take the face-off against Brady R. Smith. And McNeil get the puck out to center ice. Rangers get it there and clear it right back in. McNeil along the boards waiting for it. There's a shot. That one deflects off a body wide, and Ranger gets knocked down behind the net. And Winkelhofer pleads innocence as Reed gets the puck. Clears it off the boards, and this one will go down the ice. And now they're going to wave off the icing. Good hustle there by Louse to get there. Hayes back to Solomon. There's a shot wide of the net. Rebound picked up by Zoo. He gets head under the boards, and
the door opened at the end.
It's called as the door pops open.
Right down in front of our cameraman.
So the Rangers got a break there, I guess.
Donnie Bobby Walsh is okay.
Yeah, Donnie's okay, is he?
Yeah.
All right. Faceoff will come to the right of the Ranger goal with 6:52 remaining in the third period. 4 game. Greyhounds win the draw. Andrew tried to get a shot away. It was blocked, and the Rangers will clear it down the ice. Solomon recovers in his own zone. At the side of his own net now. Solomon leaves it for Spencer Evans. Back to Solomon. Stretch pass redirected into the Ranger zone. Kitchener has it. And here they come out of their own zone. And this is going to result in an icing call against the Rangers as Evans is at close quarters with LaBrache.
Narrow Smith was chatting it up with Weston Cameron.
Yeah.
Another big face-off here, catching the Rangers with some tired players on the ice. And the Hounds bring out Mignosa and Brown and Sharon.
And the Rangers get possession off the draw. Puck cleared around the boards, but not out. Chase Reed, who has the tying goal, gets it to Sharon. He tries to center it to Brown with a shot. Nice save there. Made by Jason Schabel. And we'll get another face-off in Ranger territory.
Really nice opportunity by the Hounds there. Good puck movement. Brown just can't get enough on it. Schabel alert and traps the puck and gets the face-off so it can get fresh bodies out there for the Rangers.
Luca Romano in to take the face-off for the Rangers against Sharon. And the Rangers get it down the ice into Greyhound territory. Winkelhofer mixing it up with Pridham as they battle for the puck. And Greyhounds end up with it. Here's Brown fanning on his pass, but recovers to get it to Winkelhofer, and the Greyhounds are out of their own zone. Mignosa at center. Flips it into the Ranger zone. McKenzie with a little hard after it against Chromiak. They tie up along the wall. Chromiak gets some help now, and Romano has the puck. It's cleared into Greyhound territory. Chase Reed knocks it down, sends it outside the zone. Rangers have a man trapped in the Sioux zone, so they'll have to clear it. Now it's into the Sioux zone, and Chase Reed picks it up in the corner. Reed turned it over. Here's a chance for a Kent with a shot. Great save by Miller. Back out to the point. There's a shot through traffic wide of the net. What a save Landon Miller made there as the Greyhounds turned it over. They're back down on the ice. Travis Hayes sending it through the goal mouth as both teams trade chances here. Chance for the Greyhounds in Ranger territory. Back to the point. Evans ricochets it off the boards into the corner. It's Solomon with it now. Under 5 minutes to go in regulation. The Rangers get the puck. Here's Humphreys heading up the wing. Humphreys across center, overskated it. Puck dumped back in. Zoo will take it behind the net. Dumps it into the corner. And there's a cross ice pass as the Rangers get into Greyhound territory with it. Evans beats his man to the puck. Hounds can't clear though. Arquette clears it into the corner. In behind the net now. Arquette digs it out of a scrum, but he is checked, and Brady R. Smith sends a pass over on the far wing. Aerosmith back to Smith. High rising shot off the stick. And Ranger player gets hammered to the ice by Aerosmith. And that's McNeil slow in getting up. Or no, sorry, that's Giricolo or LaBrache. Got it right finally. Another big hit by the Greyhounds. And the Hounds coming close as Dillon has the puck in his own zone. Bangritich clears it into the Ranger zone. Mignosa gets taken into the boards. Rangers have the puck. Under 4 minutes remaining in regulation time. A 4-4 tie. Puck is flipped into Greyhound territory. Here's Hayes for McKenzie. Back to Hayes into the zone. Hayes with a backhand shot wide. Chase Reed picks up the rebound. His shot deflects off a stick into the corner. Back against the wall now. Hayes takes a hit. Greyhounds on the puck. It's cleared around the boards. Chase Reed at the right point. Reed with a shot. Nice save there. Schabel got a piece of it. As it ends up on McKenzie's stick. McKenzie to Reed. There's a shot right on. Schabel makes the save and covers up. No further play. Face-off coming in Ranger territory with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in regulation time. We're tied at 4. Back in a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds hockey on Rogers TV.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
Two minutes, 50 seconds left to go in regulation time. Soo Greyhounds 4, Kitchener Rangers 4. Lots of turning points in this hockey game. 3-0 Rangers after the first. 4-2 Rangers after the second. Greyhounds with 2 goals here in the third to tie it. But the Greyhounds, Jim, have had the momentum ever since the start of the third period. They have just been on a mission here, to their credit, after not so good first period of play.
Yeah, they've come back. I'm sure they, to a man, would go, that was not a good first 20.
Puck outside the line, back out to center. Winkelhofer tried to pass, it was intercepted. Lamb couldn't get it in though, and it's at center ice for Chromiak, who clears it in. Miller leaves it behind the net, now gets it to Winkelhofer. He clears it down the ice, too far for Smith. But it hit a stick, so no icing, and the Rangers will quickly head back the other way. Quick rush now as it's brought in by Reed of the Rangers. Reed bounces the puck in front. Here's a chance for the Rangers, and Lamb just couldn't get good control of it as Solomon starts back the other way. To Andrew. He's across the line. Andrew trying to send it to the front of the net. Chromiak, a nice play to break that up. Chromiak controlling with under 2 minutes to go now in a 4-4 tie. Zoo takes the puck behind the Ranger net. And
Kitchener almost looking like, hey, let's go to overtime in this one, because they've been on their heels this entire period.
Arquette dumps the puck in, and this is going to be an icing call. He had to go a couple more strides before gaining the red line, didn't do it, and as a result, there's going to be a face-off deep in Ranger territory with 1:24 left to go in this third period of play.
Yeah, and you look at this third period, basically the Greyhounds dominating. Kitchener dominated the first. The second period was pretty even. Both teams had some opportunities and some momentum shifts, but the Greyhounds obviously have it right now, and Kitchener looks really, really tentative at the moment.
Face off to the left of Schabel. The puck ends up in the corner. Smith held up there along the boards by Zoo. McKenzie gets in there. The puck comes loose. Rangers have it. And it's flipped out to center ice. Knocked down there. Chase Reed clears it ahead. It's intercepted. Here's Stark across the line now as he gets it to Arquette. Arquette in the corner. Pinned up against the boards by Reed with less than a minute to go in regulation time. Greyhounds dig the puck loose. Get it to the blue line, but not out. It ends up going in the corner. Reed battling Arquette for it. Louse sends it away. Down the ice, Sharon racing after it. And almost got there, but Rangers get control and clear it down the ice. 35 seconds left to go. Here's Solomon with the puck. Just waiting patiently as time ticks away. Greyhounds move it out. Solomon to center ice. Flips it into the Rangers zone. Chromiak was going after it. He fell. That enables Brown to get to it. He clears it to the other corner. Rangers have it though and almost turned it over as Mignosa was right there. Now it's Lamb to Chromiak, back to Lamb, and this one's going to extra time here as they give it away. Hayes with a shot, and that one didn't miss by much. Maybe spoke too soon there as the puck was given away, but we are going to overtime as the third period comes to an end. All tied up, Greyhounds 4 and the Kitchener Rangers 4. We'll be back with the overtime in just a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds Hockey on Rogers TV.
Ideal Optical is a proud sponsor of the Soo Greyhounds and youth sports in Sault Ste. Marie. Locally owned and operated, serving the Soo and area for over 27 years. Located at 143 Great Northern Road or idealoptical.ca.
In Canada, chorus frogs can be found from Quebec, west into BC, and to the northwest. These small amphibians spend winters frozen under debris and can be heard calling in early spring. They sound much like a fingernail running along a comb. Chorus frogs live in and around many kinds of shallow water bodies. And they're sensitive to changes in their specialized habitat. To learn more about chorus frogs, visit hww.ca.
Welcome back to GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. Soo Greyhounds and the Kitchener Rangers headed to overtime. Score 4-4, and the Greyhounds tying it up with 2 goals in the third period, which the Greyhounds dominated. Travis Hayes at 5:20 and Chase Reed the tying goal at 9:38. Shots on goal even. Each team has 26. So I'm sure, Jim, when all is said and done, the Greyhounds will be thrilled that they got back in this game.
Right.
Rangers
definitely.
probably not as thrilled for letting it get away.
Right. I think that sums it up quite nicely because after 20 minutes, it certainly didn't look like the Greyhounds would get a point out of this game.
Underway with the overtime, Chase Reed has control of the puck. Starting out, the pass to McKenzie. And McKenzie controlling in Ranger territory, gets checked. Rangers cleared ahead. Here's the 2-on-1 now. Pridham across the line, shoots and fires it wide of the net. The rebound ricochets all the way to the center ice area. McKenzie slips it through to Reed. 3 Greyhounds into the zone now. Reed at the middle of the blue line. Decides to head back towards the neutral zone as Hounds get a couple of fresh bodies out there. Here's a pass to Sharon. Sharon circling through center. Gets into the Ranger zone. Sharon takes it behind the net. Back towards the slot area. Got poke check, but stays with it as he battles with Pridham. It's back out to the point. Here's Chase Reed. Reed gets around his man, shoots right on. Nice save there as the Greyhounds get the first good scoring chance of the period. Schabel had to be alert. Chromiak with the puck behind his own net. Gives it to Humphreys. And the Rangers head up the ice quickly. Humphreys gets away from Mignosa. Humphreys takes it behind the Greyhound net. Stops, gets away from Winkelhofer. Still controlling it. Back out to the point, it goes to Chromiak, walking the line. Chromiak trying to shake off Mignosa, decides to carry it back towards center. And he's in his own zone now as the Rangers reset. Here's Chromiak heading up the wing. Trying to cut to the net. Chromiak knocked off stride by Mignosa. Nicely played there by the veteran. Here's a chance all alone in front with Humphreys, but the pass eluded him, and he has to chase it back into his own zone as he takes a couple of whacks from Winkelhofer. Humphreys, the pass to Lamb. Across the line with Chromiak. Here's Lamb firing a shot, and Miller got a piece of that. Reed back the other way to Travis Hayes. Hayes into Ranger territory. Lost the puck, got it back, and sends it to the Greyhound line. Chase Reed takes over from there. Reed back to Hayes. Hayes trying to cut to the net. Couldn't get around Cameron Reed. Now the Greyhounds have it. Here's McKenzie going in with a shot. He scores! Quinn McKenzie ends it in overtime as the Greyhounds defeat the Kitchener Rangers by a score of 5-4. Quinn McKenzie started the comeback. Quinn McKenzie ends the comeback.
Yeah, what a play by the rookie forward from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, who makes a heads-up move as the Rangers get caught going for Hayes at the front of the net. McKenzie with the little dipsy doodle. That's the first shot. Nice save by Schauble, but then McKenzie's right there to follow the loose puck and put it home. What a comeback for the Greyhounds on this night.
So the Greyhounds win it by a score of 5-4. Quinn McKenzie, the hero, his second goal of the night. And what seemed like a bleak night for the Greyhounds works out as they pick up 2 points and defeat a Western Conference rival. Greyhounds win it by a score of 5-4 in overtime. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Ideal Optical, Soo Greyhounds hockey on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
My dad was a railway porter. It was just about the only job a black man could get. But he had big plans for us. Music would be our ticket out of poverty. I knew we couldn't afford that piano, so I practiced twice as hard.
Nice, Daisy. Okay, Oscar, let's hear it.
Turns out, I wasn't half bad. Then I found jazz, or it found me. It wasn't all easy, though. I faced a lot of hate, but I found my stage. They call me the man with 4 hands. Well, I don't know about that, but let's see how far this ticket takes me.
From Montreal to Carnegie Hall and far beyond, Oscar Peterson became one of the most recorded and celebrated jazz musicians of all time.